Welcome to the most horsepowerful podcast on the internet, the Xbox Drive. Before we get this show on the road, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and ring that bell on YouTube, and leave a 5-star rating or review on your podcatcher of choice. If you want to continue the conversation after the show, make sure you join the Carpool Gaming Discord. For exclusive content and all the Carpool shows in one simple feed, head over to patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Finally, head over to carpoolgaming.com for all of your merch needs. Now, with all that out of the way, you better buckle up, Buttercup, because it's time for the Xbox Drive.
Greater than X.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello.
Waves.
Everyone waves. We don't have flags this time. I'm
No
not
flags.
thrown off.
Mm-mm.
And I'm not going to instantly go into a laughing fit. We're doing good today, everybody.
Nailed
It's
it.
a Friday. Woo. Yeah, we're just going to be woo girls today. Woo.
Especially Mitch.
Exactly. The biggest woo
Mitch
girl.
the
of them
woo
all.
girl.
That's how I'm known. The woo girl.
Oh, my goodness.
Guys, nothing happened in Xbox this week. It's so strange.
I
We got
know.
nothing to talk about at all. I don't have a voice to talk about. I don't know what's going on. Like, this sounds strange. It sounds weird to me. Do I sound weird to you?
Super weird.
No, thanks.
When don't you?
That's true. That's true.
Ooh.
I mean,
No.
that's
okay.
actually I should watch what I say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you might start something, Mitch.
Yep,
It's true.
gotta be careful around here.
Yeah, I've been advised. Trying to watch my tone. I'm sorry.
You've been advised.
You've been
I've been advised.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
we had a situation last week that shall remain nameless, but I had representation show up, and it's okay. Don't worry about it. I've been advised by legal counsel. Sean, all right. I'll send you the video, Sean. Go ahead.
Should we roll a video?
Just go
Do it
ahead.
right
You know
away.
You know what? We can do that. Go ahead.
All right,
and,
Fee. You
go ahead
asked
and
for
roll
it.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. Good evening, Xbox Drive. My name is Rich Bauer, Esquire, legal representation of Mitch Power 1116 from the Podcast Protection Association. No relation. It has been brought to my attention that last week on the Xbox Drive, B brought an unwarranted amount of aggression, specifically at Mitch Power 1116, causing a very awkward podcast environment. Fee, if I do come out to New York, which isn't a done deal, don't worry about it. But if I do come out to New York, oh, she's muted. Are you muted?
Well, I'm not muted anymore.
Oh, no. While Mitch Power 1116 does not want to pursue any legal action or penalties against this infraction, we are willing to come to a compromise if the following criteria are met. Option A, Fee will simply admit that waffles are better than pancakes. A crepe is not a pancake is not a crepe. A pancake is simply a pancake, and we all know the truth that waffles are better than pancakes. Option B, Fee will complete a game to 100% completion on either Xbox or PlayStation. We're willing to compromise because we all know from last week's episode, Fee does not own an Xbox. Fee, if you need help getting 100% of the achievements in a game, go talk to Bowsah. Obviously, she knows what she's doing, and her gamer score is astounding. Either option will dismiss this legal proceeding and drop this case. Failure to do so will have swift punishment from Lockwood herself. You don't want to know she's capable. Thank you all so much for your support as Mitch Power 1116 heals during this rough and rocky time.
my
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Rich Bauer, Esquire, again, no relation, signing off.
Mitch.
Wow.
That is something.
Where did you find this Rich Bauer from?
You know, it's crazy. You know what happens? Remember when when you get in like a car accident and all of a sudden lawyers are like at there, like ambulance chasing? That's what happened. Rich Bauer showed up. He saw the episode and he's like, this is unacceptable. I cannot believe what I just saw. You should really have some representation. You should be protected. And then he offered his services to me. So
I mean, it's a defensive move, but I don't know about you, Fee. This seems aggressive to me.
It does seem aggressive.
Not
Maybe
at all.
I need to get my own legal counsel for next
Oh,
week. Maybe
snap.
we get a response.
No.
Maybe.
I mean, if you want to drag this out all year, I mean, whatever. Guess we're gonna have to do it.
It's true. I don't know. I feel as though we can put a truce on for the podcast,
Okay.
but next week might have to come back with a response,
Some
if you
Canadian
will.
rage.
Some Canadian friendly, kind words. A
Yep.
lot of sorries, maybe not. Who knows?
Some
The
stories.
the Eastern Canadian no yeah kind of stuff. You will see.
I mean, if you want to drag this out, I mean, I guess that's what we're gonna have to do. I mean, I just
Now I want to listen to last week's episode. Did you do a lot of yeah no's, no yes? I've never noticed this before.
I don't do it too often, but when I do it, it happens quite often. It's one of those things kind of like where I need to like put excited or like definitely or literally constantly that I use. It's just like it's a little safe. But when like the floodgates open, usually if I have either had a few to drink, spoken to my also my sister, delightful, and I mean that in the nicest way possible if she does end up listening to this podcast, and just talking to some other Eastern Canadians, I get a little too flustered, I might say like no, maybe, yes.
You're like a walking, talking like GIF right now. Just like
It's true.
if you wanted an emote for the Discord, you got that one right there. Just clip that like last 5 seconds. Like, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no. Yeah, just do that. That right there. Good.
There you go.
That's perfect. It's perfect. It's
There you go.
down there now. It's down
it goes
there.
well with my
on you.
understanding. Yeah.
It's dangerous.
I mean, I didn't know I had a legal battle on my hands. I thought she would just, admit that waffles are better than pancakes, but here we are.
Well, here's the thing. It's the misunderstanding that
There we go.
Canadians will just like constantly like let Americans walk over them. It's actually one of those things where like we're actually we have opinions and sometimes we're a little bit more vicious. So for that reason, we'll see how my legal counsel takes this.
Should be interesting. Okay, cool. So we're 2 weeks in, and everybody wants to kill or sue each other here on the Xbox.
I just want to
That's
point out
pretty
there
good.
were no threats of death with mine.
No.
Lockleth can do what she wants. It's on her. Just
Oh
saying.
yeah, Lockleth will
Yeah.
decide.
I am not any executioner of any kind. Not saying Lockleth is either. I mean, whatever decision she make is up to her, right? But I mean, don't look at me. You're the one who started it.
I'm just whoa.
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 And I shouldn't start that. I shouldn't start that. That's aggravating. That's also, I apologize right now. I don't want to have another
Once
legal
again,
dispute. You're
it's
right.
truce for the podcast, and then we'll see how it goes.
I think
Yeah.
we really need to blame whoever brought up the food wars. I think that's really who's at fault.
That
here.
is
Who
true.
was it? Who brought up who asked the questions about the pancakes and the waffles and the whats and the who's its and the what's its?
That would be our dear friend Hopple.
Oh, Hopple knew what he was doing.
He was he was just pulling the pin on the grenade. He's like, "Check
Totally.
this out,
He's
guys."
loving
Yep.
this.
He just threw it in and then smiled while the whole podcast imploded and the Discord. So yeah.
Yarden in the chat says, if you need legal advice, I took a business law class in college, so I'm practically a lawyer.
I mean,
There we go, Yarden.
There you
I'll
go.
reach out to you. I'll say hey.
I think Rich Bauer did like a 10-hour YouTube class or something. I mean,
That's what it
probably
looks
all the
like.
experience.
Yeah.
100%. You saw his office. I mean, it's
Yeah.
bare
Community
bones.
college.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Give me a little bit more respect. I mean, Rich Bauer. Come on, man.
Yeah, not you. Definitely
Not
you.
me. Definitely not me.
What is
Definitely
even
not me.
happening right now?
Nope. You caused this. You started this. You got these four
This is
people
my
up here.
fault. Yeah,
It's all your fault.
That's what I like about you, Mitch. You really take accountability for all of the things. That's the thing I've noticed right away.
It's okay. Don't worry about
Mitch is
it.
always saying, "Look, this was my fault. My bad." That's what I love that about
Totally.
you, Mitch.
Sean hired the wrong Mitch. He had a different Mitch.
The
in
wrong
mind.
Mitch.
The wrong Mitch.
Yeah, what other Mitch? That's the one thing. I don't know if there is another Mitch.
I look forward to the video reply. It's okay. We'll see what
No
happens.
other Mitch Power, anyway.
Who knows?
True. There better not be. Even though there's a couple of them already taken on like Twitter and not Twitter, Twitch. I looked up Mitch Power on Twitch and I'm like, really? I should send in my driver's license and be like, this should be mine. That's
I'm not
mine.
gonna lie. I did go to high school with a Mitch Power. Sorry, it was Mitch Power. Yeah, Mitch. Okay, there was a Powell, but there was a Mitch Power. So
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Find your yearbook. I want to see what he looks like.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't pull out my yearbook and see what I looked like in high school. It was a disaster.
Oh, I had luscious hair in high school.
I had
Yeah,
hair
nice
too, but
flowing
let's just say it
locks.
wasn't luscious. I had like
No?
crazy spikes. Like I had the skateboard hair. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Tony Hawk Pro
Yeah.
Skater, when you go to that dial of
Wow.
like, who the hell has this kind of hairstyle? I did. Yeah. No,
Surprising nobody at all. I don't think.
None.
Not at all.
Zero people.
Bowsah had the same hair.
Yeah. Mohawk, spikes, all of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah. Love it.
I had the same hair, but lighter, I think.
Like the
If
same
I
as you have
remember
now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or the spiky, same as Bowsah hair?
Oh yeah, super spiky, super crazy, frosted tips. Why not?
Frosted tips.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between me then and now is I had hair then.
Yeah.
Father time.
Father time.
Just
It wasn't
right
the
on my
amount
head.
of like hairspray you would need to get the spiky hair.
I'm not
Hairspray.
kidding you. I think about that on the regular. Like I'm thinking like, what kind of like dollar store gel did I use that just disintegrated my hairline? You know what I mean? Like I'm just thinking about all the terrible things I probably used to hold my hair up back then. So,
Yeah.
you know, you're probably not wrong. So I should be like an infomercial, like, kids, I know you love your spikes now. Look what it cost. Just take my hat off. Anyways,
Anyways.
I had a feeling I should be wearing this shirt tonight.
this guy.
I'm wearing an Anyway shirt that you can get at carpoolgaming.com, and also I'm wearing a Nintendo sweater for this episode of the Xbox Drive.
I
And
wore
you
an
all know
Xbox
why.
shirt. Come on.
You all know. Look, it's the same thing, Mitch. Look, it's the same thing.
It's the
all
same
it's
thing?
all over. Everybody who was talking about rumors was right. It's all coming to an end, and I can't even believe we're doing this podcast because Xbox is dead and blah blah blah. So I wore a Nintendo shirt just to. It was mainly because it's comfy. I just need I could use a comfy Xbox hoodie.
I was gonna say, let me know when you come back to reality, and you swiftly did. You're like, it's just comfy.
It really is.
Yeah.
I just like it.
Yeah. So that news that happened, huh? Anybody else overreact to it?
I think we did a good job last week of not buying into this nonsense.
I think so as well. Because we were rational people and not fanboys on the internet or anything. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Who wants to talk about that first? Who wants to bring that up? Maybe me, because I'm already talking about it.
Yeah.
Sure. why
Yeah.
not? So Microsoft kind of came out and said, hey guys, everybody who thinks Indiana Jones and Starfield's going anywhere else, haha, no, they're not. We're going to give you guys games that are basically already established, games that have been out on Xbox and could easily be on any platform because they're not, I'm not going to say they're not AAA titles, but the fact of like, 2 of them are community driven games, which making the community bigger is just going to make the game better. Like, I mean, you can't really argue that. And then 2 of them are franchises that are like newer that could bring more eyes to Xbox in general. As far as the rumors go of the games, of what the games are supposed to be. But yeah, they're not going to stop making consoles. Game Pass is still exclusive to Xbox consoles and PC. Everybody stop freaking out and selling your Xboxes like it's the end of the world and you need a PS5 and, oh, I don't need an Xbox. And Fee and Sean are having a lean in off. I don't know what to say about that. If you want to check it out, check out the YouTube version of the show. But no,
that's the best part about having 4 of us on the show is like really this conversation could be between you and Bowsah, and Fee and I are just kind of we're just having a good time over here.
Having a good time. So as far as it goes, I actually don't have all 4 games up that I remember. I remember 3.
Well, that's
of them.
what. Yeah, there's rumors about what the 4 games are as far as we know.
Yes.
Even when they said that, I was like, I kind of had hopes for. I don't know where this came from, but I kind of had hopes that they'd go harder than the games. And if you like by that I mean like a Starfield. Like Starfield's coming somewhere else. Like I kind of hope like maybe in some sick way that like. That there would be some sort of justification for the collapse of the community. But it isn't. It doesn't seem like that's the case from what we've heard. And like, what did because he said, Phil, on the business update for this podcast that they released this week, he didn't specify them, but it seems like the internet knows what these games are. Bowsah, do you remember what I feel like it's Tom Warren or somebody has confirmed what these games are. So it shouldn't be a surprise when it's announced later.
Yeah, I don't remember who the original leak came from, but like this is where it started. These few games, and then all of a sudden it became Starfield and Indie and Halo and everything, and Xbox is dead, right? I think that this all came from an original leak or whatever. Someone slipped and let the cat out of the bag, but we're still not 100% sure what they could be. It sounds like what the leak was is probably true, but we don't want to talk about what's really true, do we?
No, definitely not.
No.
We'll make up our own.
Yeah,
we
I mean,
could just exacerbate this and make this way bigger of a deal than it was.
what if we were in charge?
I mean,
What would we put out there?
I mean, maybe I would make it a bit of a big deal. Maybe I'd be the worst thing that could possibly happen. Because I'm kind of like, I'm ready for them to go like, Halo's coming to PlayStation. Like, I'm kind of ready. I'm ready for it. Like, just like, maybe I just want to see the internet burn because I'm kind of tired of everything that's going on out there. Like, just have your disaster that you think that this is all going to be and put Master Chief Collection or maybe, I don't know what would be better. Like, putting the entire collection, like, or every Halo all at once, or just like Infinite because multiplayer is as free as Fortnite. And that would actually maybe in a way make some sense. I'm not sure, but that seems to me like that would be the last domino to fall. If Halo shows up somewhere else, maybe that is the end of Xbox, and so that's why they're not doing it. But I don't know. I could see that being a big deal, but for all the wrong reasons, perhaps.
So Sean Capri is the Phil Spencer with a goatee.
That's me, definitely.
That's you. Got it.
Well, and I'm kind of fed up with just everything that's been going on. You know, like a few of us were watching the update in Discord. Was it just yesterday? You know, and the fact that they felt like they needed to do that is just a shame overall. You know, it just kind of sucks.
I kind of like that they did it. What if these just showed up at a Nintendo Direct or a PlayStation show? Like that?
Yeah.
That would feel bad, right? And then you don't have a statement from the company, and business as usual was. Most of these things are to stay exclusive. So, like, I kind of like that they had that format, the kind of question answer. Yeah, it was all scripted. They knew what the questions were going to be ahead of time. But at least it like gave them a little bit of back and forth, and you have someone asking, well, what does this mean? Do you still care about Xbox players? You know, asking the questions, maybe not as hard as the community would, but at least doing something, right?
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that I'm going on is mainly just that it was in response to the internet exploding. I think you're right, like doing this ahead of the games just showing up, totally necessary. Because, yeah, like when you don't have enough information, then people take it to the nth degree. But yeah, this could have been great. I don't know, at literally any other time than, you know, waiting a week after everything burns down. The fact that it burned down to be, you know, that's actually my number one issue that I hate. That people made a tremendous amount of content. I rarely do this, and maybe I'm just fed up this week. I'm tired. I'm grumpy. I'm hungry. I've been living on a diet of Gatorade and soda crackers for the last like 4 days, so I'm a little grumpy. Okay, sick and tired of being sick and tired, but also sick and tired of people making content that is based on spreading rumors and information that we don't even know, and you know, getting clicks off of people who are mad about video games. I hate it. I hate all of it. And kind of just weird to be talking about it. Like, I actually want to talk about video games. Like, that's weird, but that's kind of just where I'm at. So I'm going to read my comic while you guys go on. Skyward. It's really good. You guys should read it.
Nice.
Fee, did you have any ideas if you could bring some games over, what you would bring over?
Oh, man. I mean, like, here's the thing.
Here we go.
Yeah, bring it, Fee. Come on.
I'd bring everything.
Yeah.
I'd bring absolutely everything. I'm not going to limit it to 4. I'm bringing everything. And I know he said it would be difficult to like bring a lot of these by all means. I feel as though that this is like, and sure, it's probably the most like for the people like response I could give, but like it just drives me absolutely bonkers that people have been so negative about this, and they're just like, oh, I need to know at the end of the day, and I'm able to like go to sleep at night knowing Halo's not available for the PlayStation users. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Once again, I need to, it just drives me absolutely insane. And I know yesterday when we were all talking, I'm still at a loss why people got mad in the first place. Like, why are you having a hissy fit? Like, what? I agree with you, Sean. A lot of people are just taking this as like, there's people who are actually mad, and then there are the people who are feeding off of this and being like, I'm gonna get clicks, I'm gonna get the views, because I'm gonna like make these people really believe that I'm on their side, and then get them really angry, and then they'll come into my video, and then I'm gonna feed off of this,
abandoning Xbox content altogether. I'm not gonna do Xbox content. Like, I'm gonna make a goodbye video, but like, yeah, exactly. See you later. Good riddance.
it's such a toxic like freaking narrative and just people in this mindset where, oh, I need to know, like, I'm able to play these games and other people can't. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, the entire purpose of gaming is to bring people together, and you guys are the
Yes.
complete opposite. You guys are constantly like at arms. The moment that anything changes or anything that's different, or they are introduced to something, because you're constantly asking, we want new stuff, we want better things, we want X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, okay, so if Microsoft does this and makes more money, then they can put more money into making better things, and you guys are getting upset because God, like, goodness gracious, people are getting access to games. Like, what are they supposed to spend like $700 Canadian or like $500 American to buy an Xbox so you can be like, you know what? Kudos to you. You're good now. You've made that purchase. You like went into the trenches with us and bought a console and now are able to play. No, like, what are you talking about? Like, it just absolutely drives me absolutely nuts. And I hope that we get to a point in gaming, and I know this is me being very optimistic, where people will chill, but people won't.
They will.
And so this is going to be a conversation that we're probably going to have multiple times this year, let alone in the next few years, because people are just going to take it out of proportions.
Yeah.
So
People love to like say that Xbox is dead. It's every couple
really
months
do.
something happens, like, oh, Redfall wasn't any good, Xbox is dead. All Starfield has bugs, Xbox is dead.
Yeah.
Whoever's the CMA's blocking the Activision purchase, Xbox is dead. Like,
Oh, yeah.
come on.
Also, though, like drama brings news or clicks, right? I
Yep.
mean, the news in general, not just gaming, but the news in general is just all like horrible things. And it's just like, can't we just talk about like good things that are happening
Yeah.
somewhere, please? I think the problem is too, is like also, depending on who you are on the internet, a lot of people like to complain because they have nothing else better in their life.
Yeah.
They worship a plastic
Yeah.
box. Homie, I have a job, I have kids, I have a family, I have 4 dogs. Like, I got so many other things I could care so much more about than this plastic box that sits on my shelf. And you know, I mean, it's just people
4
get.
dogs?
I have 4 dogs. Yes.
Yeah.
Come on, Sean, pick up. I thought we were friends. Anyways,
I know, but that's just a lot. I'm just highlighting the fact that's a lot of dogs.
yeah.
That's a
I
lot
have
of
4
dog
kids, 4
food.
dogs, 2 cats, and a partridge in a pear tree. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Don't worry about it. Like, I just think like
I want to see the pear tree.
people, so many people get so worked up because they have nothing else better in their lives to be angry about.
Yep.
So they want to worship a plastic box. It's weird to me. Again, like they just, you know what it is too, is people make decisions and God forbid they make the wrong decision, right? Because they don't want to justify, oh my God, example, I bought an Xbox One when it came out. So many other people went PS4. And they were just like, oh, I want a PS4. I didn't want to make I wanted to choose the win. Like, what does that mean, winning console? What does that mean? Like choosing they don't want to think they made a wrong decision. Did you buy that? Are you having fun? There's no wrong decision. Shut up. Like, just enjoy what you got. I played Titanfall for a year straight. And I was like thinking, I didn't make no wrong decision. This is awesome.
Oh.
You kept saying Xbox record that, Xbox record that, Xbox. I'm having a great time.
Exactly. With my
You're loving it.
required connect. But
It's just a reaction to like a decision that you haven't even seen play out yet. It's like Robert Pattinson as the Batman was awesome. Heath Ledger as the Joker was awesome, but nobody was thinking that was going to be awesome when they first announced that kind of stuff. And that's the thing that gets me, that we haven't figured that out yet. Like maybe the mob isn't right about this stuff ahead of time. And maybe we could just like see how these things might play out, because like, mark my words, we're going to fast forward a year or so and Sony will announce that games are coming in other places, at the very least PC more soon to release. I think I'm sure that will be discussed on the PlayStation Drive. That's the thing that bugs me. Is like, this is actually probably for the best. And like, it doesn't matter at all to any of us. Yeah. So like, just let it happen. And if it crashes and burns for whatever metric that is to the business, like, let that crash and burn. But like, otherwise, who gives a damn?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you go, Mitch.
Okay. No, I was going to say, like, the fact that they're still, again, they didn't go nuts. They didn't go crazy with all these like certain games, but realistically, you could just wait a year. Again, just do what they're releasing are games that have literally already been out for years. Or like it's already been out, and it's to the point where it's like, You know when Steam sales go crazy? When a game's died down in sales and then they put it on sale again, and all of a sudden there's a big jump in the player base and a big jump in sales. Oh, I think we sold enough copies on this game on the platform that we have. We could just put it on another one, make some more money. Not a big deal.
Right.
Like,
And here's the thing. People don't make decisions based on games that come out a year afterwards. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's not a consideration. They wouldn't make that choice because people play games when they come out. That's generally when most people buy games, when all the conversation is happening, is when they come out for the first time. When they show up a year later, it's like, okay, it's also here. And it like nobody cares. It's the like Jurassic Park, just like, see, nobody cares about this. So it's frustrating.
I love that meme.
It's so perfect.
I think these brands have kind of created some of this monster because they have said that they live and die by their exclusives. So there are a lot of consumers out there that see that my box needs to have exclusives or it won't exist. I don't know that that is the business case anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The times are a-changing. Things are going lots of places. Xbox is already changing. Everything comes out day one on PC. Most of these things are in the cloud that they're putting up. Like they're already past that.
Yeah.
So what's it matter if it's on another box? Don't
Well, and Steam
confuse
doesn't even have
you
an
thinking
Xbox.
you understand the business model when it's changed.
I didn't mean that. Sorry.
Let's just bring that up again. He doesn't even have an Xbox.
No, I'm saying it because I think that you bring like a good perspective to this because like that's basically what it's like playing in PC anyways, right? There aren't really any PC exclusives like much at all, like if any. You know, maybe like Disco Elysium, I think was an exclusive for maybe half a year or something like that. And like none of us care when we're playing on PC if it's exclusive. Nobody is asking for games to be exclusive to PC.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and I actually think Xbox's roots in PC, like just the DirectX and, you know, connection to Windows and all these things, like this actually makes a lot of sense. And I've said it before too, with like Ori and the Blind Forest and the Will of the Wisp, like Xbox fans, if that's what we want to call us, we haven't really done a great job of celebrating and blowing up a lot of these games anyways. So maybe that's the part that people are upset about, is they realize, kind of like the Vita, like it was the fans who let it die. You know, like this is only happening because not enough of these copies were sold. So why not get a little extra, like wring a little extra value out of, what were the rumors? So it's Pentiment, Sea of Thieves, Grounded, and what's the other one?
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush, of course. Honestly, dude, I think that's a perfect selection.
Yeah.
Totally perfect.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out games that can easily run on the Switch.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, Sea of Thieves is
You're
pretty
not
interesting.
bringing over Halo Infinite on the Switch.
If Fortnite can play on the
Sorry.
Switch, Sea of Thieves can.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I heard the list of games, I was just thinking like they shouldn't be hard to port over because the Switch should run these all just fine.
Mhm.
And again, especially like those community-driven games, like adding more players to Sea of Thieves isn't a problem at all. Like,
Yeah.
I you know,
They need
that's-
more noobs to grind into
Yeah.
the dirt. Well, now that they have the safer seas,
Mhm.
all those PvP people that are upset about it.
I
They
have
just
seen
wanted
some
some
funny
news.
gifs of some mean things that I won't mention here. I'll show you guys later. Some gifs of like Sea of Thieves, like when PlayStation players get Sea of Thieves and like what's going on.
Oh, I saw. Yeah.
Did you
Pirates
see
of
the
the
two-
Caribbean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where the two ships surround the one, and it's like Xbox PC players, and in the middle is the PlayStation ship, and they all just blow it to hell. And I'm just like, I don't want to say that's gonna happen, but it might. And again, that just adds to the fuel of the fire. Guys,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You're gonna have more people playing your games. And again, Microsoft's only going to get more revenue from this, which means they're going to be able to do more things. And like and it's weird because during the press conference, or the podcast, I should say, not press conference, podcast, they specifically real fast brought it out. What about Indiana Jones or Starfield? And he
It's
was just
not
like,
those ones.
no.
Yeah.
And he shut it down so quickly, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, give those games a year. Let those games die down.
Let
and
it
then
be
all of a sudden
Starfield,
just
dude.
go,
Yeah.
want some more money? I can do this. It's like the back pocket offer.
Is it going to be the you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of deal? Xbox is holding it
I
out
doubt
here,
it.
saying, here's a little thing.
We're
and
not
now,
getting
okay,
Spider-Man on Xbox. I'll tell you that.
you
We're
give
not.
I
us
think they would
something
prove-
and we'll put Starfield over there.
I don't know if PlayStation would ever really look at it like that, like you're like ipso facto quid pro quo, whatever it is. But I do think that there's something to Xbox like proving the model that they've already done this with PC, like that they saw when games released on Steam, even which they don't own, that it still was a good thing for them. And maybe this is kind of another example of that. And just like they proved, that there's elements of the subscription model that PlayStation wasn't doing before that is valuable and worthwhile doing, then Sony just copies that as well. So I don't know if it would be a you help us, we help you kind of thing, but I think it would be, oh, so there is money in this and you can survive as a platform by doing that. It sucks being the first one because people will attack it for all the imperfections that come along with being the first one.
Yeah.
I really liked when he said too about entitlement across platforms. So when you buy on the Xbox store, you can play on your Xbox or on your PC. And just taking the jab, it would be great if more people did that.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be great if I could buy Diablo 4 once and own it everywhere. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would
Yeah.
be
And
nice.
maybe it's a $10 little chunk of change or something to get more platforms, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's
the
companies
dream.
out there that could easily implement that just because they have their own network infrastructure, like their own, like, like Call of Duty has like a login, like an Activision ID or an Epic ID, right? Like you could easily do something like that. But yeah, I think them just opening up more options to people, like you're right, Sony could easily see that. To be fair, Sony kind of already did see what Microsoft did with PC stuff, right? They were
That's
like,
what I mean.
oh, they're putting this stuff on PC. We should as well.
And now they're
That's what I'm
talking about it
saying.
more.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing though is I think Sony as a company needs PlayStation to survive and thrive for that company. Microsoft has the kind of like bank vault behind them where they can kind of take those risks and see what works and see what doesn't. Whereas Sony is very protective of like, we really do need exclusives on PlayStation to like stay here. And I don't know if they'll go the route of like, obviously they got forced to with MLB The Show, just because MLB said you have to do this or you're not getting this license again. So I get it. But also Microsoft's already been putting games on PlayStation before this. And like Minecraft, like Microsoft bought Minecraft and then it was like, we're not going to take this away. Because again, business wise, that would be stupid for them to just cut off the highest, even though we talk all about this, PlayStation's still outselling Xboxes left and right. So to take away that market is just dumb. But it's also dumb to think, oh, eventually Starfield won't go to PlayStation. It probably will when it dies down and people don't care about it as much. And then those 50, 60 million PS5 owners are like, we never played it. And you just put it out there and that's just extra revenue. Again, the games that they chose, people shouldn't be surprised about. Like Hi-Fi Rush is a year old. They came out a year ago in January, like because that was that surprise announcement they did at the last year's development conference. That game is awesome. That game is great, and more people need to play that game. And the fact that it's not hard to port and you can easily move it over there and make money. I don't know. I doubt Sony will do the same with any of their exclusives, though. To be honest, like I just think like they are so protective of it. They don't have like a timeline for their PC releases. Right? They're still kind of like, we'll figure out when it's coming to PC. Like they don't have like a year thing, right?
But people can't handle this like wishy-washy. Like they don't like people want certainty and the same thing every time. Which it just makes me wonder about like if this is really the right way, honestly. Like because the intention is, I think, good. Everybody can play and Minecraft isn't locked behind anything, and the same thing with any like Call of Duty or any of these other IP that Microsoft has purchased. And I just wonder, kind of given my comments before about everybody just wants things to burn and they can only find like the negativity, and it seems like that's the only thing people connect with. It's like maybe this initiative where everybody can play and nothing gets locked behind doesn't jive with the negative community that is gamers. Like maybe it needs to fight fire with fire, and the only way that this actually would work is to lock Minecraft within the Xbox hardware ecosystem and then PC. Like there's something to be said about that, that like maybe this is too positive for people to even like understand because we're just so naturally negative about everything.
Well, let's not confuse the negative gamer culture that we see screaming loudly on the internet with actual gamers across the world.
I hope not. I hope you're right.
Bro, how many people complain on the internet and how many gamers are there? There's a lot more gamers than there are nerds on the internet.
That's really what they're
banking
banking on.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, we see it because that's our, we're on social media all the time, right? But I mean, you also get people, by the way, that buy consoles that don't even care about exclusives because they play Call of Duty and Madden every damn year.
Yeah.
And they don't even care about Halo or Gears or Starfield or any of that. They don't care. They just want to buy a console and play Madden and Call of Duty. And that's fine too. Like, there's so many gamers out there that this is not, there's no shot this is the vocal minority or a majority of us, right? Not all of us. It's not like you're going to go to a convention and 9 out of 10 people are angry about anything their console does. They don't care, right?
I hope not.
But like I said, it's just those, people that have nothing else to talk about. It's okay.
It's like, okay, I definitely agree.
Good.
There is a game that I really enjoy playing. I'm going to talk about it. It's called Dead by Daylight. So I play this game quite extensively. I played it on PlayStation, and then I was just like, okay, you know what? People are moving from PlayStation 4. I'm going to play it on my PC. Now, at the time when I was moving over, my PC was not great. People might remember my Franken computer, which was made out of like 3 different computers and could not handle a video game. So where did I play? Exactly. It was horrendous. Like how the side of the computer wasn't on. It was horrendous. And so there was a little service that actually offered Dead by Daylight, and it was called Stadia. Stadia allowed me to play Dead by Daylight. Now, what happened was when I got my new computer and realized, you know what, I can play it on Steam. I bought the game for Steam and then found out it's cross progression. I was able to play it on both, which was phenomenal. Now, speaking of Stadia, which is not me trying to call back on my own podcast, each week we notice that whereas we saw this week with Xbox doing this podcast, we heard nothing. Stadia said nothing. They kept on releasing things. They kept on announcing things. They kept on saying, oh, we'll do this. We're going to white glove things. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And we didn't get a podcast. We didn't get Phil Harrison sitting with someone and talking about how Stadia is going to do. No, they just decided to essentially shut it down one day. So I have a feeling that this is the complete opposite. We've been seeing a lot of,
Garrett, you broke her.
Garrett
in the chat. Garrett says, speaking of Stadia, never thought I'd hear that.
Wow.
You got her with that one, buddy.
Oh, my. Okay.
You gotta rise above the comments. You
it's
gotta,
okay.
You just gotta,
it's okay.
You gotta see them, and you just gotta like swim. You can't let Garrett get to you like that.
Do you know what I like? I didn't have the comments up. You highlighted the comment, and you're just like, look what Garrett said.
My fault.
It was too good not to. It was too good, though. It wasn't.
No. It's okay. It's okay. I get it. And here's the thing. I was ride or die Stadia. I've heard all the comments. You can say whatever you want. I love it. By the way. You son of a
Sean, put it back.
Great person. A great person. Sorry, not sorry. You know what? That's valid. No, I think as someone who was ride or die with a specific service that did end up dying, this is the complete opposite of what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a really dedicated team talking about the future of their service and their consoles and everything about it. And we're seeing progression. We're seeing them come out, showing their faces. They're not hiding behind a computer or a few little announcements. I'm not calling out on anybody. You know who you are. You're sitting somewhere because you left Google, but I don't have any other comments. I'm
thought it was me.
Okay. Either way.
Hey, Mitch, you got the number for that Rich Bauer guy?
I do.
Going back to sweet old me. No, it's just
She just flipped off. She flipped the switch. She's like, angry Fee, sweet old Fee. That's it.
That mute button.
Yeah.
Exactly. All I know is this is not what we're seeing right now. Now, however, can I then end up in a few weeks be like, hey, you remember that time that I said everything was going well and that everything was swell? Might not be the same, but at this point in time, we're seeing a group of people and a dedicated team who are looking to the future and not looking back at this is how it's been working for the past 20 years in consoles and this is how we should continue. It's the opposite. They're looking at this is the next 5 years, this is the next 10 years, and this is where gaming is going. Not just sitting on, well, we got console sales and we're selling games. Like, no, they're looking at, hey, you know what? We've heard people. We've hear people who don't buy consoles. We recognize that like the demographic has changed. People are buying PCs. People are live streaming. People are doing like using their tablets more. Because here's the thing. They sit down in a meeting and they're like, hey, so here's our console. What are they doing when they're not playing on our consoles? Oh, they're on their iPads. Oh, they're on their phones. Oh, they're doing X, Y, and Z. Oh, they're on their computers because they played that one game. So then they bought a really nice computer and now we've lost them. So instead of thinking like, oh, we're just going to look at the same demographic, they're looking at other groups of people. They're looking at like, hey, how do we get those people who love cozy gaming? How do we get the people who don't own a console? How do we do the X, Y, and Z? So it's really closed-minded to think like, oh, we should just keep it on one console. We should just keep it like we should keep exclusives. We should just keep these games away from people. No, that's the opposite. And instead of thinking like, oh, we need them to buy our consoles, they're thinking like, hey, how do we make this accessible for people? How do we get these games to like people who may not have played them before, or maybe get them interested in it? Like, it's really frustrating. And quite honestly, like I've realized this week in particular, spending so much time on negativity and then crying about it on the internet is a waste of your time.
Yeah.
Do something different. And I'm not saying like, I know people have said in the past to other people, and I don't like the term like touch grass. Like that's incredibly rude. I just think that
I'm not saying side, damn it.
Go play the games instead of crying about them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Play your games. Have fun. Try something new. Like try a different game. It's really disheartening to see a group of people who I would like to consider myself a part of the video game community. I like to consider myself a part of like this group. But it's just really frustrating when you see like a part of them or who are just like complaining about this. And I'm like, and now we get to spend our podcast talking about you guys because you guys won't stop. And it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I want to talk about games that I enjoy. I want to talk about how people are excited about things. And I know I'm not going to say that everything should needs to be hunky-dory. I'm going to, because I just talked about Dead by Daylight, which Dead by Daylight's fantastic. And I need to get back into it because
Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass. It's happening.
Yeah.
Finally.
And they are making new hardware for the Xbox. Like stuff is happening.
It's going to be the best one ever. Did you see that?
Yeah, by the way,
It's going to be the biggest leap ever.
That's a better statement than like the best one ever. It's like, why would it be worse than the what's come out before?
We're going to make one that's like
Apple
just a
does
little
it all the time.
The PS5, just because.
It's the best iPad we've ever made. Like,
I
why
seriously,
would it
I
be
was just about to
worse?
say, Apple said it's the best iPhone. Like, not to be mean, but like, no shit, dude. Like, yeah,
I know,
hope
like
so.
good for them, dude.
I
Like,
hope you
they
don't
get
come
away
out and
with it.
go, it's the same as the last one.
That's not by much. Let's just say that.
I love that stuff.
Each
so
year.
much.
The only thing I will say I want to mention, and then I'll shut up. John 32 in the chat says, corporations need to ignore them though. Be like Nintendo. No, don't be like Nintendo. Sorry. Here's the thing. There's a fair amount of listening that they need to do, right?
Yeah.
I agree there's a fair amount of listening you need to do because you need to make sure that you're making your consumers happy. But at the same time, the consumers they're making happy are not the ones that are on the internet complaining about anything they do. They're looking at all the other people that bring them so much money and trying to figure out ways to make those people happy and make new ways to make more money. Sorry, I don't know if you guys realize this, but they make video games not out of the kindness of their heart, but to pad their bank account with more cash. So Microsoft obviously has smart people that realized, if we put this on PC, we could probably sell more copies.
But I feel like that's the part that I get kind of like, who cares though? Like, who cares who makes money and stuff? Like, and maybe that's where Nintendo gets to live in a wonderful place in a lot of our minds, where you're like, you almost don't even realize that like real people make those games. They just come to exist like magic.
Right.
They're just like as if they like some sort of like divine intervention just like made them appear. And that's just maybe the magic of Miyamoto. But like, we get so into these, who makes the game, and this game was in developer hell, and blah blah blah, and it's like, who cares? Like, just
access to information is not always good.
Well said. Yes.
We go too far at times.
I think so.
But Nintendo, though, I mean, could you make a console that runs better than an iPhone 6, please? That'd be great.
But apparently that's the thing. Like it doesn't matter. Like that's.
But there's a certain. But the thing is, like, there is a certain group of people out there that really would like, with like where technology is. And I get it. Nintendo's like, we're not, we don't care about the latest and the best of this, but like when there's experiences that are out there that are made. I'm sorry, playing on an Xbox, the original Xbox Halo 2 multiplayer, I've had better experiences playing that than I have games Switch Online. And I get it, there's different demographics and stuff, but like there are people my age who would love a premium experience and we're willing to pay for it just if Nintendo cared to make it happen. And those are things that, like, example, me personally, I played Tears of the Kingdom and I was like, this game is fun. But when I was bouncing back and forth between playing games on my Series X and my PC and my PS5 and then going to play that on that console, it was bumming. I was just like, dude, I just want to play a game that doesn't run like crap, please. And I docked it the whole time. And again, I just think Nintendo, I get it. Nintendo doesn't listen to a certain extent because they have that kind of like, we're Nintendo, we can kind of do what we want. But there is a certain level of, you should listen to certain things, because Microsoft's done that too, though. Just to be clear, Microsoft tried to remember when they raised the price of Xbox Live? Yeah. Like, it was like a year or so ago. They were like, by the way, we're raising the price of Xbox Live. And everyone was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, people that haven't paid for Xbox Live for however long Game Pass has been out, they were all yelling about it. Like, who cares? I don't care. I don't know what it is.
They should have listened.
But that was obvious. See, but that was, I think, like, that's not just the minority that was speaking, but that was like way more attention of negativity. So, I mean, obviously, I think there's a certain level where you should listen to your community, but at the same time, Microsoft is gonna make sure that people can play their games on everything, and it doesn't matter.
I just realized what's happening here. I have like an reverse reaction to the mob, basically. So whatever the mob is saying, I'm taking the opposite side almost automatically. I could probably think maybe a little bit more about it, but generally speaking, that's like whatever the mob is mad about, I'm happy they're mad about it.
But the quiet mob
even if it meant that like Xbox Live Gold or whatever was more expensive, like good for them. Go for it.
You just want to piss the internet off, Sean.
I just hate complaining. That's the thing. It's just like, I think complaining is so lame.
The quieter mob, the ones that are quiet, that mob is way bigger and has logical thinking. So I'm probably with them, not the irrational. I have nothing to complain about besides this. You know what I mean? Like there's just, I understand, like, there's way smarter people at Microsoft that make these decisions for obvious reasons. I'm not one of them. But guess what? Whatever they decide to do, I'm not gonna say you follow any company blindly, because there are, by the way, every company that we've discussed here have all made terrible decisions that we're like, what are you doing? And you can't blindly just follow a company into it, because some companies make dumb decisions. But to have critical thoughts and thinking, and not just, I'm selling my Xbox tomorrow, I'm trading it in.
Oh yeah, I hope they did.
Shut up. I hope you did. I hope you coded back to GameStop.
Now you can't play Diablo on Game Pass.
There you go. Yeah. By the way, that actually shocked me that they announced just one game on Game Pass. I thought when they started the Activision stuff and like bringing all that stuff in, I thought they were actually going to do the floodgates and be like, here's Activision.
I think it was only one that was your good news for this business update.
Agreed.
I don't think they intended to do anything there.
Yeah,
because they weren't even going to have that podcast. So they were like, oh, we're doing this thing. You should trust us. Everything's fine. Here's Diablo. Go have fun.
I mean, when Bethesda showed up, though, I guess they did a drip feed of it, but I feel like they put more out there right away. Like,
they had a big drop.
Yeah, they had a big drop when Bethesda got bought. And I
like this better.
You like the drip feed better?
I like the drip feed way better. Oh, definitely. Give us something like, because you can't, because people don't have the attention spans. Like, this is the thing that I'd love to get to in this show as well with you guys. Like, Game Pass is more than the games that just got released to Game Pass. Like, this is a completely foreign concept to most people, and even to many of us who comment on Xbox. It's like, we only ever talk about the last 5 or 6 games that are coming or that were just announced, and you completely forget about the rest of the library that's there that like is just as good and notable as the latest stuff that's come out. And maybe that's part of, me playing games that I've had for a while and I'm trying to get a little bit more in touch with that. But like, that's kind of the whole idea here as well. Like, you can't just drop 50 games and go like, see, it's a big deal now, because 48 hours later, people are going to completely forget. Like, nobody's going to go back and go, oh yeah, the 7th game on that list was this, and the 14th game on the list was that. Like, people don't care. So Drip Feed is great, and Diablo is huge. It deserves its own like moment. And I feel like in a way it almost got lost in all this. You think about the time we've talked about everything else except for Diablo, that across all the podcasts and all the blogs and all the tweets and everything, like that. I hope that has a bigger moment later, because Diablo is one of the biggest gaming franchises on planet Earth. It's a huge deal. I'm now going to be able to play Cross Progression, the game that I own on PC, to now playing it on Game Pass on my Xbox. I think that is incredible. And that's what I'm talking about. Like the actual video games.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't know what I'm
I
saying.
strategically bought it on PlayStation 5, just waiting for this day.
Totally. That's same here. That's why I bought it on PC. I knew this was coming.
Did they announce it though, if the Diablo 4 was coming to PC Game Pass though?
I don't know why I wouldn't. I
assumed
don't know that they said console or PC actually.
That's the only thing I didn't know, because there are still some games that, they have it on PC or Game Pass, regular Game Pass, but like I didn't know if it was going to come to both, because I wouldn't mind trying it.
It should, because now they own it. Right?
I would hope so, but I just don't remember them specifically saying, because console and even cloud though too, right? Like not everything on Game Pass is available on cloud either. So that's why, like, if you notice when they announce something, they have to get like super specific, like heads up, this is coming to PC and Xbox Game Pass, but not cloud now, or vice versa, or whatever it is. But like, that's the only thing I was just thinking, like, because they announced it and I immediately thought Xbox, but then I'm sitting there thinking, like, I also wouldn't mind, checking it out on my PC now that I have a crazy good PC comparable to what I had, before. Like, I would like to see how it looks here. So, but you're right though, the cross progression, and of course, if Activision was going to get bought by Microsoft, we all know that games are going to come out. So the PS5 purchase was a good choice there. I wasn't forward thinking like that, so I just bought it on Xbox. It's okay.
If only there was a way to know.
If only there was a way to know. But no, like I that's the one thing I'm happy that you're right though. If you go back and look at PC or the Game Pass library in general, there's stupid amount of games that are on there. I don't know if you guys have ever done this on your Xbox. Go to like all games, and you'll just see, go to Game Pass tab, and it's just like scroll.
Oh, we were going to do the surprise me thing.
Yeah.
Sean, go ahead and do the surprise me thing so we can see what you are forced to play then. Go ahead.
I'm definitely not following this, because I do want to talk about Tomb Raider and Alan Wake 2. I was actually awake this time playing the game.
Before we get into those, we got a couple questions from the community related to the big news. So maybe we should clear those up before we move on.
Yes.
Sounds great.
So Fulia asks, how are you all feeling after that Xbox podcast and the news that came out of it? Anyone surprised at all? Disappointed maybe? This is a safe space. Please tell us how you feel.
I'm fine with it. I'm happy with it. There wasn't anything groundbreaking or heartbreaking or nothing. It was fine.
Yeah. Every once in a while I do have to check myself, because I am very privileged that I can own all the boxes, right? Not everyone can do that. And I understand if you only have Xbox, you could be concerned about things, but still, everybody just calm down a little bit. Wait until you actually have a reason to be mad before you get mad. That's my advice to the world.
Agreed.
Let's see.
I was surprised about hardware. Was there a question about like what were you surprised about? I was surprised they mentioned hardware and they teased the next generation. That was pretty. They kind of just had to secure their future in hardware, I guess, is what they were doing there.
Yeah, they had to just reassure people that no, this wasn't the last Xbox ever.
I am surprised that when they said the biggest technological leap. So when they said that, because again, I'm a tech nerd, and I'm just like, now here's the thing though, is like, to be fair, going from like Xbox to 360 was like, it was huge, right? Going from 360 to Xbox One, big, it's still a difference, right? But then when you went from like Xbox One to Series, it was like, okay, I think we're just getting like faster load times. We're getting to that point, but it wasn't like crazy, right? And even things like, I'm trying to think of like technically when I think of like these big upgrades, I think about like what is on PC, what is PC capable of that like consoles just can't do? Because that's always what I think about, right? When you look at like a console that's end of its life cycle, PC is already like, we have this, and this that this console can't do. And then the console comes out, a new one, and it's capable until the newest. If this thing comes out in like a year, I can't think of anything that's on PC right now. Let's say 2 years. I can't think of anything that's on PC right now that's like, oh my God, this is earth-shattering or biggest technological leap. That was the thing. I was just like,
Yeah.
she said it with like, almost like you are going to have your heads explode when this is going to happen. And I'm just like,
I wouldn't be surprised if they lean more into the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
we assume
Crackdown
that
3.
the Kojima game that's coming
Sure.
is going to be more like that. Maybe more AI-driven behaviors of NPCs, that type of stuff.
I mean, if
Well, yeah,
games can
maybe
just
there's-
update and you can pause them and not have to uninstall them in case you cancel it. I mean, I guess that's a feature that's groundbreaking. You know, I'm cool with that. I don't know if you guys have ever had that problem. If you cancel an update on Xbox, it uninstalls the whole game. Why? Just fix that and I'll be happy. That's all.
I don't think I've ever ran into that. What I think about this like technological leap that I think is going to be interesting is, I don't know about you guys, but like displays have basically stayed the same this whole generation, right? When Xbox Series X first came out, it was like, okay, I need to get an 4K. It needs to be this HDMI 2.1 blah. Like, I feel like, and I might be speaking in ignorance here, that like maybe things have like stayed for a while, so there you don't have to necessarily like build new hardware to catch up with like 8K. It's not like this has to be an 8K machine. Like, that's not going to be a thing, which is great because now we can just focus on 4K 60 being an actual thing, or 4K 120 or something like that. Like, maybe that's where this can come from, instead of just always trying to keep up to the, oh, now it's 1080p and now it's 4K. Let's just stick with 4K for a bit with our TV's displays, and maybe that would be good.
They kind of did that when they didn't go crazy with the resolution, but more with the refresh rate, right? When they didn't say, oh, we're going to 8K, but we're going to do 4K at this higher refresh rate, which on console you were never used to, right? Console was always like 60.
Yeah.
60. And then finally
That's
they were
the
like,
thing.
here's 120. So, I mean, if they start saying, oh, here's 240, maybe to be on par.
But that's
with
what I
PC,
mean. Like,
but-
no, just get it,
No.
get locked down with like 4K. Just like get that good.
No, but
and make it
4K,
look great.
4K
Consistent.
240.
Yes,
No, 4K 60 for
60.
every game. 60.
Totally.
Let's get there first.
Totally.
That's true. That's true.
That's. What
I was
I'm
just sitting there
saying.
thinking of like, what leap could they do? And that's like the only thing PC is better at right now. And it's just weird because I don't consider that a giant technological leap. Could you
Well,
make
and again,
controllers?
that's where I think that the conversation is so limited, because it's
Yeah.
like that's all we care about is like how many dots are on our screen, like how about how many like choices you can make in a game, and how many characters you can interact with, and branching storylines and things that actually make games like interesting and like things that you've never seen before. Because like our eyes have stopped counting dots a long time ago. Like that's not happening for us anymore. It has to be. I want it to be deeper than that, and that's kind of the thing coming out of this business update too. That, you know, I don't want to know any more about the business. I just want to know about like what cool game is it? And I talked to Ryan Turford on his last episode here on the Xbox Drive, and it's like, this is the company, this is the platform that gave us achievements. This is the platform that gave us Xbox Live to begin with. Like, do that again. And that's kind of where I wish the conversation would steer towards, instead of, you know, exclusivity and all this other nonsense. Just like, give me something cool that I haven't seen before. That'd be great.
Yeah. The problem is, if you haven't seen it before, you don't know what that thing is until you see it.
And that's the
So
thing. That's
we as
why
the
I'm mad about-
consumer can't like, I want this. Well, I don't know what this is. I need
But I'm
a
open to
Nintendo.
I'm
I need a
open to whatever it
Nintendo
is,
to
but
show me
people
something
aren't.
weird.
People are closed-minded to any new idea. They're like, I don't know what that is. Shut it down. That's why I'm against the mob. This idea of like people shutting things down before we even know how it's going to pan out. Because if the internet and social media was around when Xbox launched with an Ethernet cable in the back, we wouldn't have high-speed gaming and consoles. Like, that was just not a thing. Right. And so,
Hard drive
and there
built
were
in.
people would have been loud about that with their 56K connections to the internet. They would have been really upset because so many people didn't have access to high-speed internet at that time. That would have been a perfectly reasonable complaint to have. So that's when I'm like, man, you guys are really slowing us down with whatever cool thing is coming next, because you keep complaining about it before it even happens.
Yeah.
You're right. The innovation, though, that's the part where like, I don't want to say I'm too stupid to come up with those things, but I'm too stupid to think of cool things like that. I just don't.
I am. Yeah.
Like there's definitely like, you're right though, because like Game Pass was like also. I remember when that first got announced, people were like, "That sounds like Netflix for games." Yeah,
Right.
that's a cool idea. But like those are things that we just don't know. We don't know what we want until it's in front of us, and we go, "Oh, that's what we want."
Yep.
That's what we want. I mean, I could think of improvements on the console now, but I mean, groundbreaking or anything. You're right. Like that's when the only thing groundbreaking you're gonna start getting into is if you start doing Apple Vision Pro stuff. That's when you're gonna start getting like weird.
Bowsah is not impressed.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No. I'm just saying like AR stuff is like the only thing that like lately I've seen stuff AR stuff, and I'm like, now we're starting to get to like Minority Report stuff. So some things are getting there. But is Xbox going to be like the next Xbox is going to be on your head? No, no, that's not going to happen either. So I'm excited to see what they do. If they were, what if that was an add-on? What if that was an option? Be like, oh yeah, you could put this thing on your head and just play your Xbox wherever you want.
I also think that gamers need to realize that there are going to be growing pains for these types of adjustments. It's not going to be instantaneously like miraculous change overnight. It's not going to be like in 6 months or like, hey, we bring out this brand new thing and then it works like top notch and everyone's this. And it might happen. You know what? I put my hands up. Might happen. Who knows? But at the same time, it's just like the moment that something doesn't work, they're like, we knew that this wasn't going to work.
I know.
This is obviously, and then because once again, going back to a dead platform, that's what people did. They're just like, oh, and we knew that this was going to happen. We knew that this was good. And it's just like, it drove me up. What just absolutely drove me nuts the entire time. And I will, at one point I'll stop speaking of Stadia, but at this point it's not going to.
What are you talking about? No, you won't.
It won't. No, it's just really infuriating to see, like, as I know that Google spits out a ton of different ideas each and every year, but at the same time, it's just like something that was actually doing pretty well at the time. And then people are like, oh, we knew that this wasn't going to like work. It's going to be the same thing. If like Microsoft decides to release something brand new, it might be AR, it might be a new handheld console, and then the handheld console has some new tech in, and then everyone's just like, oh, we knew this was going to work. It's just like, did you?
Could be.
Did you see that in your freaking magic ball over there? Like, what are you doing? Like, one, share. Two, like, no one's gonna
give me the lottery numbers. Don't give me the bad news.
Exactly. It's just really infuriating that people don't want to be a part of progress. They just want to see like results. They're just like, we need instantaneous like results, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing to me. It's just like, it's not going to be instant, and from an artist's perspective, it's not going to be something like you. And I say this as someone who's a perfectionist when it comes to art. I like look at something and I'm like, oh, this is really bad, but at the same time, it's just like, if I worked over this and I actually continued, I might actually get to a point where I'm happy with it. And it's the same thing that we're going to have to deal with. We're in a situation and we're at a time in gaming where there's going to be huge changes. It's just, we need to be prepared for the fact that it might not be hunky-dory instantaneously. It's going to have those like initial, like, this doesn't work, so we made this change. It's not going to work, so we had to do a bunch of different updates. Like, whatever it is, we just need to be prepared for that. But like, I don't know, it's once again people unrealistic expectations where they're just like, everything should be fantastic all the time and my gaming should be 100%, and it's just like,
minority people, though, vocal minority people are just like, that's just that's a bitching that it's not perfect right away. Nothing is. Example, the Wii U. We all expected a handheld console that we could do around the house, and then you get 5 feet away from your console and it starts freaking out. And then the Switch came out, and then everybody was like, oh, that was your like figuring out stage. Now we have this great product here, right? Like, it's everybody's gonna have like your figuring out stage, but like everybody keeps mentioning a handheld, like an Xbox handheld. And in my head, I kept thinking of a cloud console, but like, what if Microsoft actually came out with like a Steam Deck competitor that was like priced right and been like, this can actually run native games. Oh yeah, and cloud.
But they don't have to. Like, they don't have to invest the dollars because there are Windows. Yeah. What they should be doing is making a version of Windows that doesn't stink on handheld. Yeah. Give me the Steam Deck experience, but native Windows games.
8.1.
No, let's not do that. Don't put it on your desktop. Let's not be silly here.
Yeah.
No. Come on.
There's a lot. I mean, like I said, who knows what they'll have in the future, but whatever. Just everybody play games and be happy. That's what you need to do. Shut up. Quit
Mhm.
complaining on the internet. Go play games and be
Yeah.
happy. Go play Hi-Fi Rush. If you haven't played Hi-Fi Rush, it's on Game Pass. It's a great
Yeah.
game.
I'm no good at rhythm there.
Go do that.
I don't know.
But I was like, I tried.
I'm
I
no
can't
good
do
at
it. My rhythm's awful. I
No.
just couldn't do it. As a
No.
person who loved like Rock Band Guitar Hero, I was like, rhythm combat. Let's talk.
Some rhythm
Also,
things are good. That one just didn't click. I don't know.
what was that other Metal Hellsinger? Was that the name of the game?
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
good game. Mm-hmm.
Yup. I was playing that. I was like, yeah, I'm a fan of
Yeah.
this. Doom mixed with rhythm games. Let's go. So
Yeah.
that was fun. Also, thank you, Game Pass, for that game as well. Didn't have to buy it.
There you go. All right, another question from Delroy. Do you think the Xbox team communicates too much and is too friendly with its customers? I
No.
think it's a good thing in many cases, but has also created a weird relationship where folks take things very personally in a way they wouldn't otherwise. Fee says no. She's out.
I say no. I think
Like,
it's great.
instantly, like,
No.
mm-mm.
No, no, because
Absolutely
once
not.
again, I'm gonna go talk about it. We had a Phil Harrison. Let's talk about Phil Harrison for a second here.
I didn't get a voice thing when you mentioned Stadia. I just need to get a voice thing, just like
It's just okay. For people who don't know, this man like randomly said, "Hey, I'm now lead in Stadia," and everyone's like, "Oh, fantastic! This is great." And then we never heard from him again for 2 years. This man did not tweet anything. He just did nothing. And then Stadia died, and then he left Google. And we're like, "What is happening now?" Is Xbox a little friendly and like to provide as much information as they can? By all means, but I would prefer that over dead silence and then just walking away when the going gets tough. Like it's find that happy medium. Like I think it's really great to have that communication. I think it's needed. I think it makes it more of a collaboration rather than them telling us things constantly, because they could pull a Nintendo, they could pull a PlayStation, they could come in every 3 to 6 months and say, "Hey, here are our games. This is what's happening. Have a great summer, and we'll be back in November." Like it's just they could do that. Instead, they're like, "Hey, this is what's coming. This is what we're doing. You guys aren't happy? Let's set up a podcast." Like, I think it's great. Because maybe was I starved for attention for 2 years from Phil? Maybe.
just talk to me, damn it. Just say something. Say hi. Ask about my day.
Exactly. I'm like really. I just
I'd rather you
communication
be
is
mad
key.
at me than not say anything at all.
Yeah.
Your silence speaks volumes, Phil. Damn it.
This man said nothing. It died. He just said nothing. No, it's just
Better.
just make it better. No, I think it's communication is key, and I think it's very important. They're not like giving us an insane amount of information, mind you. I'm gonna say there's a particular person. His name or may not be Todd Howard. When things get bad, he just comes out and he's just like, "Hello, I am Todd Howard. Let me tell you about the latest and greatest in Bethesda." And then he talks about for about 20 minutes. Everyone's just like, "It's Todd Howard," and then they walks away, and then everyone's just like, "Everything is great with Bethesda." And it's just like, what happened? Was I under that spell for 5 years? Absolutely, I was. Did I think that, you know what, Fallout 76 wasn't really that bad of a game when it first came out? Because Todd Howard came and told us about it. Like, it's Todd Howard. No, instead, they recognize their faults. They realize, and they're like, "Hey, we made a mistake." Or, like, in this case, they didn't say that because you know what? They didn't make a mistake. People assumed rumors. But yeah, am I calling out a bunch of people? Absolutely. Do I mean?
Absolutely did.
And am I going to regret
Who
it
else
in the
is on your
morning?
list? Jesus.
Yeah.
No. Am I going to regret this in the morning? Absolutely. Am I going to post in our little Discord chat guys, I shouldn't have talked about this. This was a mistake. I'm
Send DMs to each of the people on Twitter that she talked about. Like, I just want to let you know on the Xbox Drive of this episode, I talked a lot. I'm so sorry.
Except Phil Harrison.
Yeah, except for you. You won't
He
even
doesn't get
talk
the
back.
apology. He doesn't even get a Canadian
I'm
story.
just saying, at the end of the day, I think Todd Howard's great. I think Phil Spencer is great. I would
What
love
was
to hear
the
from
question? How are we talking about Todd Howard right now? What?
The question, do you think
Wait a
Xbox
sec.
team communicates too much and is too friendly with consumers?
And then to the the answer to the question of do they communicate too much, Fiona went on a 17-minute diatribe.
Let me tell you about Todd Howard.
One word, no.
Yeah.
We didn't let him just do that. We prodded for more, and that's what you get, Sean. You asked for it.
Don't worry, I'll take over. The answer, no. They communicate a good amount. Are they too friendly to their consumers? No, because they still told people basically go to hell with Starfield and Indiana Jones right now. Because if you really wanted to get friendly, they could just all that complaining about, oh my God, we're losing Starfield. They could have went, you know what, guys, you're right. You guys are losing Starfield. Let's take some time and give it to you. No, they're not too friendly because they're still a business. And they're like, here's what we're doing. I think they communicate better than any other gaming company out there, in my opinion, because they are transparent. Phil actually plays video games and knows the business, and he's he seems like a normal dude and not some corporate dude, right? They are communicating perfectly fine. They're not they're not being too friendly, because if they did, they would pander to those morons online who complain about anything, right? Yeah. They listen, they communicate. They're not too friendly because they're still a business. They still need to make money. But like you said, I'd much rather them be outward about everything rather than just shutting up. And then because again, I'd rather you tell me something's wrong instead of me thinking something's wrong. And then my mind just goes nuts thinking about all the things that could be wrong. You know, they're talking to you. They're letting you know what's up. They're not pleasing every little thing because everybody's different. They're the best company out there as far as communicating. They want to be pro-consumer as much as possible while still making the business happy. They're literally, in my opinion, the best ones out there. That's just my opinion. And again, I'm not crapping on PlayStation because PlayStation still has a lot of cool. Their PlayStation Directs, they do a really good job of, here's your Direct, here's a bunch of games that I know everybody's going to love. Everybody's got their own method, but like Xbox out of all of them, I would feel is the best at communicating. But do they communicate too much? No. Because I'm sure there's some email chains back and forth between Xbox employees. Like, can you see these morons on Twitter talking about getting rid of their Xbox? Again, they're the best out there. If he's got PTSD from Phil Harrison just shutting up for 2 years, like Phil Spencer, literally, he talks to people at the Xbox Fan Fest. Is a CEO from PlayStation or Nintendo out on the floor like, hey, how are you doing? No, you have a CEO who's actually a gamer and who seems to care about what people want. So, and he communicates as such, and he holds back when he needs to hold back. So, yeah.
For all I know, Jim Ryan hasn't played a game since Duck Hunt. I don't know. Does he play games? Does he even know what games are? I don't know. Phil Spencer's always posting stuff about what game he's playing.
Jim Ryan's like,
he has a sorry sign. Oh, we'll have a sorry shirt.
Jim Ryan sees this and goes, how do you hold
but
this
who I'm sorry guys, I'm just gonna be harsh about this. Man, who cares about the people and what they say and like what the new video games, the games, when do we get to talk about games? My God, who cares? I'm dying over here.
Let's see if any of the
who cares if CEOs play games? Who gives a damn? Tell me about video games.
Okay, here we go. Here we go, Sean. Imagine Carpool Gaming was having a dinner party and it was Xbox themed. What are you having for dinner and what games are we playing? Go ahead.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Okay, wait, what was the question?
God damn, he's not even listening. Imagine Carpool Gaming was having a dinner party that was Xbox themed.
Yes.
Very important. What are we having for dinner? And what games are we playing? Go ahead.
So Xbox themed food. I read this as like X themed. So I was trying to think of like things that were starting with the letter X. I'm like, that is so hard. Like, what is this question? Garrett Bland in the chat says Vampire Survivor. That's a legit start right there.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about Overcooked. I'll just play that and burn all the food. Just do that.
What are we having for dinner? What does that have to do with anything? I want pizza. I'm good with pizza. Actually, all the stuff that like Xbox gives away codes for and stuff like Monster Energy drinks,
Doritos, Mountain Dew.
Hell yeah, that's what we're having. That's dinner.
Doritos and Mountain Dew because that's it's got to have Xbox branding on it. Yeah, Gamer Fuel. Oh my God, Gamer
Hell
Fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're having for dinner. Is just a plate of Doritos and Gamer Fuel. 100%.
Yes, please.
And what else? The Rockstar Energy drinks. What else is Xbox branded?
Wait, how many energy drinks have you had today?
Me? 2.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He had 2 before 7 a.m., but
I did.
who's
I
counting?
100% did.
That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, I
I'm
like
alive
this
still.
question from John 32. I think similar to you, like I want the Doritos. I want pizza and
Yeah.
chicken wings
Yep.
and some beers.
Some
You
beer.
could
Well, I
put
don't-
pizza in an Xbox shape. You could like put
Oh, I like
toppings on
that.
it, make it look Xbox shaped.
After I eat a few pizzas, it'll have an X shape in it. It'll
What?
be fine.
What?
What? What would we play? I mean, if I'm having a dinner and there's people over, something multiplayer. Come on.
Yeah, we're not playing Halo.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. See, I used to do like I talked about the last podcast. I used to do like all-nighters with friends, and we would just like get pizzas. We would sit in his basement, and then all of us were just like sitting on this massive like L-shaped sofa and a love seat, and we were just sitting around the TV playing Halo 3 all night. Just all night. From like we go downstairs, there's sunlight, we go downstairs, we come back up and it's sunlight because it's the dawn, because we just played Halo. No, that's definitely, I was gonna make a joke and say like Bassmaster like pro fishing.
Yes. Oh, that'd be
Because
great.
I think that would be fantastic. But that's just me. And
I'm with
obviously
you.
perfect. The Canadians are all about the Bassmaster.
It's the great outdoors, man.
Shocker. You guys are about the outdoors. Me and Bowsah are like, can we shoot things? America. Good job, guys.
But no,
Well done.
Halo's definitely it. I would say Halo. Like if I had to choose, I would specifically choose Halo 3 because of the nostalgia.
I mean, you could just Master Chief Collection it up and just we can all play whatever maps we want. I wish that game had a better response, but it's okay. I was so sad the way that game launched.
I tried to play it a while back and it did not go very well for me.
Right.
Mostly
Plays really
because
well now.
well, that's great because
5
when
years
I
later.
played it, it didn't work properly and it was just me like screaming for like a good solid 45 minutes trying to get it to work / not stop recording / me constantly getting glitched out. And then yeah, it was
Damn.
It's okay.
Fulia in chat brings up a good question. What's for dessert? Anybody have a good answer? I got one.
I love all desserts. What do you got?
I'm just going to go with the Xbox theme, and it's got to be mint chip ice cream.
Oh,
'Cause-
like
'cause the
green.
Yeah.
I was
The
like
Xbox
candy, just tons of candy.
Just bowls of candy.
Yeah, like fuzzy peaches. Why not?
Oh, yes. Fee. Yes.
Somebody said Xbox Oreos in the chat. I mean,
I'm down for that. Yep.
did
Yeah.
Xbox have Oreos? Am I tripping right now? Did they have Oreos? Like,
I don't
were the
remember that.
Xbox branded
Nintendo
Oreos?
does.
That's
right,
true.
they did.
Yep.
They
I ate
did.
a lot of those.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember if that was a Xbox Oreos or a thing.
I mean, you could have like an original Xbox, just like sheet cake.
100%. It was
That'd
shaped
be
like
pretty
one.
good.
Just
Yeah,
go to
just-
Costco.
It was
Just
shaped
be
like
like,
one. Easy.
That's the best thing about being a grown up is like realizing it doesn't have to be your birthday to get a birthday cake. You can just like go and buy one if you
Yeah,
want.
grown-up
You can eat it
money.
yourself. Exactly.
I'm an
can do
adult.
dumb
I can eat
things.
cake if I want.
I can
right.
put my own design on it. Yeah, happy birthday, me.
There you go.
Facts.
Yeah, we can just get a sheet cake the size of the OG Xbox.
I think
Just
that's
do
what
that.
that'd be my bet. Yeah, that's what
That's
I
a good
want.
idea.
There we go.
Absolutely.
Nice. Well done. All right. We have one more question from the community. This one coming from Nagachaka. Do you think Sony or Nintendo will follow Xbox in a similar fashion and release some of their smaller exclusive titles onto other platforms? For example, Luigi's Mansion 3 in the multiplayer mode is now on Xbox. And then, speaking of this, what's everyone's Nintendo Switch friend ID, and can we add you as a friend?
We say it at the end of the Nintendo Drive.
Yeah. We'll put that in Discord because I would have to find a Switch and turn it on to figure out what that thing is.
1-810-3989-2104.
Bowsah had
Bowsah,
it in
you
the
rule.
Discord. She had it in the doc. Like, I got you.
There's one advantage to being the collector of the questions.
That's very true. Do I think Sony and Nintendo will follow suit and do smaller exclusive titles? Yeah.
Nintendo will never do it.
Nintendo
Yeah, I don't think
never
Nintendo will, which is a shame.
Yeah, unfortunately Nintendo never will because they're prideful and I get it. Do I think? I mean, what are we? Honestly, like I was wishing Helldivers 2 was on Xbox. but it's on PC, which is as close as we're gonna get. But I could imagine something like that. You're not gonna get a AAA Sony title ever outside of a PlayStation thing. But again, we're just gonna have a conversation. Don't worry about it.
I wish it was all multiplayer games went everywhere, right? You need the bigger player base.
Yes.
Why limit things?
Right.
So
However, tell me a multiplayer game that PlayStation made that's like
Mag.
Well, apparently they had like 30 of them in progress and they're canceling all of them, but
that's always one section I thought Xbox always excelled in was like the multiplayer stuff, you know, like majority of their games being multiplayer competitive games, whereas Sony always excelled in the single player story driven linear games, which again, I'm not crapping
Which
on that
makes
'cause they
people
make
forget that The Last of Us had a great multiplayer. The Last of Us, like
Yeah.
the original one, had great multiplayer, but people think that's just how crazy, like intense people are about the single player in PlayStation Land. You don't even notice when it happens. It's like, holy crap, it's really good.
Right. I'm just thinking of like, like what Helldivers is like that game right now. I think.
Helldivers
Like,
is the game. That's
Helldivers
my
is that
for sure.
game right now. Like that, I think I would love for that to go on Xbox. I think that would be. Obviously, they need to they'll probably wait and put it on there later. But I mean, that's the one game that everybody's talking about is great. I have not played it yet. Not for any reason other than just I haven't played games all week. But
I mean,
you're right,
Bowser's
though.
got Death Stranding achievements. I mean, from PC Game Pass, that on
Right.
console would be pretty decent too.
Yeah.
I feel like that would make a lot of sense. It's not necessarily, I don't think, like super PlayStation, not in the way of, you know, Last of Us or Ghost of Tsushima or Horizon, God of War, those kinds of things.
yeah, it's not a
multiplayer games
PlayStation
should be
first
everywhere.
party, but
Yeah, they don't own.
it's probably the
computer
next best
productions.
thing.
Right.
I mean, I guess what we're getting now is kind of one of the next best things, and that's the Square Enix games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's weird to
Speaking
think
of-
about- oh no.
Speaking of, next week, Final Fantasy 14 beta starts
Oh snap!
on the Xbox. They don't want me to play it, but I'm going to play it anyways.
What do you mean?
It's for new accounts only.
Yeah.
So you start a
New what
account
kind of
then,
account?
huh?
New Xbox accounts? Like
No, I think
No.
new
Or
accounts
or new
too.
Final
Square.
Fantasy account?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
dumb.
I know.
What?
Yeah.
But I was just
I'm
like,
not-
I totally agree. Like I'm not
I
arguing.
totally
I'm not
agree.
spending another. Sorry, I'm not going to spend another 1,500 hours on a character
Yes, you
for
don't like
Xbox. I'm
Xbox.
sorry.
I mean,
Thought you liked
I am,
Xbox.
but I started on PlayStation.
She's like, oh, that's cool. I am.
Like, I absolutely.
No, I don't have that many hours. Like I have like 600 hours total. But so magically, my husband's going to have a Final Fantasy character next week.
Magically. Nice.
All of a sudden,
Congratulations
like,
to him.
Hey, you know, it'd be
All of
cool
a
if we could
sudden-
play together. Check this. Here's a character for you.
I was just playing the game last night. He's asking me all kinds of questions about what's happening. So it's not
Do you know
that
what
far-fetched.
MMO? Do you know what MMO just needs to be on everything? Just World of Warcraft. Why not just put it on Xbox? Why not just
Yeah.
like put it on
Can you
PlayStation?
imagine?
I don't know what I would do with myself if they just brought World
That's
of
the
Warcraft
answer to
on
the
everything.
topic. That is the answer. That is absolutely the answer.
Boom. World of Warcraft.
I just want to point
Yes.
out, Microsoft like just bought the company. Yo, imagine that E3 announcement and be like, oh, does everybody want to play the biggest multiplayer MMO ever
On console.
on console?
That'd be a big,
Just
that'd be a huge
and,
deal.
but that's the one of those I think honestly that they would put on PlayStation as well. like,
Absolutely.
ASAP because they're
Boom.
just thinking player base. Who cares? This is something that could be on everything. Like that's one of those that even though it's not like a Minecraft or Call of Duty where it just you want to put this on PlayStation, that would be something that would make so many people into that game again.
They wouldn't even need to put like the latest. They could just be like, here's WoW Classic, because it's right now in like the best, by the way, the best expansion, Wrath of Lich King. Come at me in the comments. Whatever. That's just my favorite. I'm saying it in the nicest way possible.
That's what I
I
want to hear. I want to hear you talk like World of Warcraft. Like, yes, more
Yeah,
of that.
yeah, just like I think bringing it, especially in a specific time where I know that there was a huge jump in players, including myself. I came in at the end of Burning Crusade, and then like Wrath of the Lich King is like my bread and butter. That's like my like specific expansion, and I think it's a great opportunity to introduce this to console players. It's just like, hey, here's ICC, here's like oh my goodness, I cannot remember Carthazon. There's like so many like different raids that we could do, like you could do as a player, and it doesn't like I said, it doesn't have to be like 9 expansions in. It can just be bring in classic. Just start a WoW classic, and if it works really well, do it as a beta. Test it out with classic, and if it does really well, then branch out into the actual like most up-to-date version. But a lot of people, at least from my time of playing WoW, aren't playing the new WoW. They're playing classic because they prefer Wrath of the Lich King, and they're not like an insane amount of storyline in now. So no, I think that's I think that's what they should do. And if it happens, then maybe I'm a fortune teller, and maybe that, who knows? That would be fantastic.
You've been
if
great before.
That is true. I did get XCOM correct when no one knew what I was talking about on my first initial podcast that I was on. I said XCOM should come to Xbox. And guess what?
Nailed it.
I nailed it.
Sean and finger guns, man. So speaking of games that everybody's playing or not playing or used to playing and coming back, Sean, go ahead and tell us about Alan Awake.
Yes, please.
It got good. It got good, you guys. It got better. It got better. It's getting better. It didn't put me to sleep this week. I'm still too early in, but it started to get. It kind of creeped me out a little bit. I'm starting to see maybe a little bit. It's a little weird. I'm getting my butt kicked though right now, and the combat is kind of like kicked in, and I really need to figure out how to not die so much. But no, the game. And I said this last week, last week I was very early in. I wasn't sure if it was really for me. I'm still not 100% sure if I'm like totally sold on it, but I'm starting to understand what people were all about it. So it's getting a little better. But yeah, I got distracted by Tomb Raider Remastered. I was able to get a code from Aspire on that one. And you guys, like, I feel like I could go on. I might have to save some for either next week, or I'm going to do a formal review on this as well. But like, Tomb Raider is so nostalgic for me for all the strange reasons and all the good reasons. I played Tomb Raider 2 on my PC back in like 1997, 1998 with my 3DFX Voodoo Graphics Diamond Monster video card with 12 megabytes of VRAM, Mitch. 12 megabytes.
Megabytes. You didn't say gigs. I heard you,
Not
sir.
gigs, megabytes. And it was $700 for that sucker back then, man. It was so expensive. But man, I played Tomb Raider 2 in 800 by 600 resolution glory, maybe 30 frames if I kept the sound off. And so that was the thing.
I play muted so I can have tolerable frame rate.
Some games I did on Unreal, we had to play with the sound off
because
we didn't have a good enough PC.
So funny.
Tomb Raider, dude. I'm playing Tomb Raider 1 right now in the remastered collection, and I just need to tell people there is no autosave. This game does not save your progress at all. So when you die, you start over, dude. I've learned that lesson the hard way at least 6 times, where I'm just like, oh, I really didn't save again. Even after I tweeted about this, I still died and had to kind of like restart. So I'm getting really good at the game because I'm playing
doing
and
it over
the
and
levels
over and over.
But they've done a really nice job. I'm playing on PC, which has its own kind of one or two little quirks. There's modern controls or tank controls, which honestly I'm kind of flipping back between the two. The modern controls is more like what you expect a third person kind of action adventure game to play like. It's a little closer, it's not quite exact, but the game is built for tank controls. It's meant to like have you like turn and then go forward and then turn back around. Like it's really built around like the cube like geometry of the world. Everything is hard edges. Totally. Yeah. It's just, you can climb it, that ledge, not because it's colored yellow or orange or something. It's because it's straight across. Like that's how you knew you could grab onto that sucker. But it's so simple in that way, right? Like there's not really a whole lot going on. You're just wandering around this world. We're just like lighting up and destroying all wildlife in this wilderness. There's bears coming after me and bats and wolves and whatnot and other crazy animals that I don't know if it's a spoiler for a game that's 30 some odd years old at this stage. You're killing all those sorts of things. But the thing about it on PC is there's no, as nice as it is to be able to switch back and forth between like modern graphics and the old school look of it, there is no other video options. So on PC, like whatever, I have an ultra wide screen, so it just automatically goes to the ultra wide, which is great. unless I want to do anything else. Like there's no option like any other game to have like a windowed mode or for it to be small or anything like that. So that's kind of a bummer. You actually have to set your monitor settings specifically for it. You can't go into the game settings. But once you get over that, like that really impacts me when I want to record it, or maybe if I wanted to stream it, is I have to kind of go into the nitty gritty of that. So I'm going to be playing this for a little while longer because I never actually originally got to play Tomb Raider 1 back in the day. I only played 2 and 3. So I'm actually experiencing it for the first time now through this. So yeah, shout out to freaking Tomb Raider, man. Remastered. This was high up on my list. I had Prince of Persia as number 1. Very excited for that. Got to play it thanks to the review, which I'm dodging all this not buying new games kind of thing. And then this one we got a code for, which that was also very good. And then the third game I'm very excited about later this year is Space Marine 2, which Donnie's forcing me to buy thanks to the Royal Rumble pick a couple weeks ago. So there you go.
What else has everybody else been playing? I'll answer mine quickly. I haven't played anything all week. I've been editing content all week long. I had to put myself into that mode where, Mitch, don't play video games with your friends. You have clips to edit. So
didn't you love Lethal Company last Friday?
I did. I love seeing you jump off and just fall fast and hard. That was pretty fun. No, we played that. I did play over the last weekend. I did play a lot of Apex and Call of Duty. There was a new Apex update, which I'm very much looking forward to playing all day tomorrow. Cannot wait. Biggest update of the game so far. Super excited to play that. During the week, I haven't played really anything else. So looking forward to playing a lot of things, but just haven't yet. So Bowsah, what about you?
Well, I got all the time in the world for games, so I've played a few. I'm still working on the Fortnite Battle Pass. I did play a little bit with the Miles of Amanda on her stream and ended my little run there. We got a big dub. That was nice.
Go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Played a little bit of Go Mecha Ball. New game to Game Pass. You can you're like a little robot guy, and you can roll up in a ball and attack enemies or shoot them. Or it's kind of wild.
Sonic.
Yeah.
That's called Sonic the Hedgehog. I think they spelled the name of the game wrong, though.
They spelled it wrong.
It's so cute.
Look at it. It's kind of neat. So, you find new weapons and get some abilities, and I don't know.
Is this a Game Pass game?
Games.
It's on Game Pass.
Oh, snap.
I'm always playing things on Game Pass. You know how it goes.
True. That's very true. Yeah.
Another one I played a little bit of is called Spirity. So it's like a little cozy game. You're running a bathhouse for the spirits.
Whoa.
Taking care of them. Got to be careful. You don't set 2 spirits next to each other in the bath that might not get along. Got to clean up all the spider webs and the dirt. And I don't know, I haven't made it too far into this one, but it's a little cozy game as far as I can tell.
It's so cute.
It is.
It is now known Bowsah plays cute games. That's 2 games in a row that are cute.
Well, there you go.
Right?
Kind of has like an Earthbound kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's very
Wait, are you a raccoon? What just happened there? Did you see that? What is this?
Yeah.
I didn't get to a part where I turned into it.
You took a potion.
It's a tanuki.
I love tanukis.
I'm going to stay up all night playing now. I want to do that.
Yes. Catching bugs with your friends.
Of course. You got to catch some bugs and some fish and that kind of stuff.
Oh, going fishing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see you. I see you, Spear T.
Yeah. And then the last one I'll mention, brand new on Game Pass, A Little to the Left. Now, of course, I had recently bought this on Switch, so you're welcome to everyone. I took one for the team. I bought it so that it would come to Game Pass. The thing I'll point out here, yeah, that's how it works.
Okay, got it.
The good thing about this one is it is an excellent xCloud game on your phone because you can just touch your screen and drag the little things around.
Mm-hmm.
So, very good.
Okay,
this is giving me WarioWare vibes.
Yeah, like, it looked mini games.
Organizing.
So, yeah, you're like organizing, sorting. Yeah, finding the patterns. There's a cat that comes and screws things up.
Up in your stuff.
I say an animal messing up things. I'm used to that. I do that. Yep. I deal with that IRL though.
Yep. So
got it. Nice.
Yeah, very
So
therapeutic type of game.
Is this a game that specifically like has cloud like controls specific to the game then, to where you could do it on your phone or anything with playing it that way? Because I know like some Xbox games, they have like specific controller layouts when you play it on cloud compared to just a normal like layout.
There is no controller layout. You're just using your touch screen to drag things around.
Got it.
So
That
most
seems
of the
like
game,
better way to play it.
oh yeah, it's definitely the right way. When you play it on your console, you're moving the little hand cursor around with your sticks and pressing a button. Well, now you just use your finger to drag everything.
Mitch would go up and push the TV and just like touch it.
Fun story. My daughter, this is how you know the generations. My youngest daughter, Addison, she just assumed my wife's 75-inch TV in the living room was a touchscreen. She started going up top.
Oh, grubby hands.
Nah. We don't do that.
Have you seen that clip of the meteorologist, the weatherman, who realizes that his screen is a touch screen, and it's the best. He just turns into a child. He's like,
yeah.
So
he's like, oh,
can I
zoom
in? You can tilt it. It's so good.
Yeah, he was so happy. And his friend came over. He's like, oh, wait. No, that's awesome. That's a great clip.
Yeah.
That is a great clip.
So, Fee, what have you been playing?
Well, on the topic of tea, I've been spreading liberty in Helldivers 2. Yeah, I have been playing that nonstop. I was a huge fan of Helldivers, the original. I played it quite extensively on PlayStation, and then it was announced for PC, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to play it. And I played it all weekend. I sat down at 4 p.m. in the afternoon and did not stop until about 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning, because we just kept on queuing. We just kept on playing. People came and left. Well, we would just like... So you can have up to 4 people. You can technically have random people. We didn't do that. Instead... we just hopped into a game with either just the two of us, it was my boyfriend and I, or some of our friends joined in. And then I specifically remember did the exact same thing on Sunday because I was also like refreshing the Super Bowl specific scores while I was playing, because I'm just like, I need to know, need to keep up to date. So it was a freaking fun time. It is absolutely hilarious. It is, if you wanted to take Starship Troopers and make it into a video game, it is so cheesy. It is so so absolutely absurd. Like, even just like this trailer, like I didn't think it could get even more crazy until they have the recruitment video at the beginning when you're first starting off in the game. And it's this man going, like, it's essentially a very nice residential area. And all of a sudden he goes and waves at his wife and child. And then you see this like large bug attack his family. And he's like, no, why? And he's just like, this is why we need to fight for like democracy. And so it's just absolutely bonkers. There's like the equivalent of like I do my part from the movie. There's like Taste Democracy for Super Earth, which is what you're protecting. You're protecting Super Earth from the terrible like insect people, and also the automatons, which are currently attacking. By the way, there was a breaking news report yesterday that the automatons have taken over a planet to the west, and so we have to fight them off. And it is just absolutely wild. I've been having a lot of fun with it, even though it just drives me absolutely crazy. Going back to communication, when someone just decides like, hey, I'm just gonna like throw this like indicator that they should just drop a bunch of bombs on this area, and your friend doesn't tell you, and so then you blow up as well, and then you just see like eliminated by your teammate, and you're just so like
specific.
Come on. It happens so often, and then every time I just hear like, sorry Fiona, and I'm like, please just someone tell me. They're like, well, you could have turned around, and I'm like, I was trying to kill a bunch of these things. Like, it's not my responsibility. You need to say, hey, dropping an eagle like indicator, whatever it might be. So I've been having a ton of fun. Would highly recommend it. If you want to play with me, my Steam name is literally right there. Go and add me. I will play this game with you.
I do the same thing, by the way. I'm like, Yeah, it's his hand. It's his hand. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm like fully invested.
It looks awesome. It looks like so much fun.
Yeah, oh sorry, go
I have
for
a
it, Mitch.
question.
Sure.
The original Helldivers was not that perspective though. Wasn't it like
No,
a
not at all.
top-down Diablo style? Like,
Yeah.
So that's what's weird to me because I'm like, I'm not like, I'd much rather the perspective of the new one, right? I like that type of gameplay and that perspective considerably better. But yeah, that's why I was just wondering because I remember Helldivers, I was like, Helldivers 1 was not like that. Helldivers 1 was definitely, because if it was, I probably would have put a whole lot more time into it. But that's what I'm saying. Helldivers 2 looks awesome.
That's what I was
It sucks though that like I get spoiled to buy games because I'm like so used to Game Pass. I'm like, I just do that. I'm like, is that on Game Pass? Oh, I gotta buy it. All right, I guess.
I will definitely say I didn't buy it myself. It was gifted to me, but I just like I was concerned about that because I enjoyed the top-down experience as someone who gets very motion sick playing specific video games, especially with shooters. I was very concerned. Mind you, for myself, I know my limits now. I can't play this game and then go right into Pal World because I tried to do that and then I was just like, oh, I'm not feeling super hot. I'm gonna go grab a drink. And then I was like walking to my kitchen and I'm like, I'm going to take a detour for 20 minutes of laying in my bed and hoping that the world stops spinning for me. But it's very fun take on it. And I appreciate that the group who made it really recognized things like when it comes to the pass, like the battle pass and stuff like that, you can instantly get it with points that you get in the game. It's not like you have to instantly bring out and shovel out money. They've really taken that indication and they're like, we want to like earn the ability to have people buy stuff for our game after the initial purchase. So I'm really excited for it. I'm going to be continuing to play this game, so I'm going to stop myself from talking about this even more because next week when you're like, hey, Fiona, what have you been playing this week? I'm going to be like, so it's Helldivers 2 again, everybody. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Let me tell you about how this game goes crazy again.
Right.
No, and it's really cute. Like the whole like breaking news thing yesterday, they posted it on YouTube, Twitter, and everything, and they're like breaking news, and then this was happening, and I'm like, I love that kind of like interaction with the community. We've seen this quite a lot this week with Larian Studios for Baldur's Gate 3, which is another thing I need to get back into. So I love it. We love to see it. We love communication in 2024.
What kind of PC are you running over there? What do you got over? What do you got on your hood?
So I have a 3070 currently. It was a pre-built that I got in 2021, I think early 2021. And it's holding up quite honestly, and I'm just saying this from experience. I have a few friends and co-hosts that have purchased 4070s and their computers are crashing quite often. So we'll talk about that. And yeah, that has been a consistent thing. Even not even just streaming, it's just they were talking to me on Discord and then randomly like disconnect and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Bye. And they're like, my computer restarted. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm happy with my 3070. Smiley face.
Sucks. Yeah, no kidding.
That's my PTSD. Okay. My computer freaked out, and like, I didn't have a 4070, but yeah, my computer's way too high tech or way too advanced for it to be doing those things. So yeah, I just got mine. Pretty sad.
I got mine from Canada Computers. Which I
don't even know what that is.
That's obvious.
Obviously, what do they sell there?
Canada Computers. Maple syrup and computers, Sean. What else, dude?
I've never heard of this. What?
Yeah, they sell switches. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny. Donnie from PSVG has this thing like where he's commented on how literal like retail is in Canada. We tell you exactly what it is. So here's another one. There you go, Donnie. CanadaComputers.com. Wow, look at this. I've never seen it before. This looks like a fake website, Fee. This does not look real.
Okay, it doesn't look real, but when you go to the actual place, it's a very, very real place. There's like a mouse aisle, there's a keyboard aisle, there's an aisle specifically for like shells. It's just, yeah, this is the website. Shadow
Bro,
this looks like a flyer.
That logo looks straight out of 2001, dude.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
I will. Nice.
Yeah, I got this in 2021. It's I went to the store because they actually have retail locations, which I will tell you right now has that exact logo on the outside of it. Because when my boyfriend told me about this place, I also thought this looks crazy. And then I went there and then I'm like, oh, this is very, very legitimate. Yeah, Canada Computers is a real chain. We have 10 of them in Toronto. I know. There was a computer that I wanted during my time of trying to get a computer, and it was only in Toronto that they had them available. And I'm like, son of a very nice person.
Yeah.
This case looks like a station wagon with wood paneling. This
It
is
really
like
does.
Yeah.
This be a Canada Computers exclusive.
I wonder if this
love
is the
it.
equivalent to Micro Center, which I wish there were more Micro Centers in the world.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to a Micro Center?
No, I get the YouTube shorts all the time though.
Dude.
From the thermal paste kid.
Yeah,
He's
I
great.
went to a Micro Center. It was like almost like as a nerd point of pride. I went to Ohio to visit my buddies, and they have one, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna buy. I just gotta go. I just want to go there. And I went there, and there was an aisle that had every keyboard out of the box for you to test it. They had every mouse out of the box, and there was just a whole aisle, and I was just like, and they had every computer case out, and it was just such a nerd thing because I was in there, and my wife is just like, what are we doing here? Like, you're not even buying it. I'm like, shh, they have 3D printers over there. Look at all the 3D printers. Like I was so stoked about all the stuff they had. So I wonder if this is the equivalent to that. But yeah, Micro Center, unfortunately, they don't have them everywhere. And I would die for one to be within an hour of my house. I would be so happy because those places are great. Those places are phenomenal.
And they got coupons here. Canadian Computers. Oh wow.
Do you get like maple syrup or do you get like a hockey stick or something with it?
Free maple syrup with
maple
your
syrup.
graphics card.
Yeah, your graphics card. Free signed hockey jersey. Come on, man. You gotta give me away. Come on, dude.
You just get a bag of pucks.
Yeah, a bag of pucks. There you go. You get some new skates.
Oh,
Yo.
yeah, free skate sharpening.
100%.
Canada Computers. I love it.
There you go.
You get a
learned something
USB
new
flash
tonight.
drive with the last 10 Stanley Cup finals on it. There you go.
Oh
That's cool.
my god. Mitch.
Just saying. It's in the name, dude. Come on. Do they have moose stuffed animals like Fry's Electronics used to have? They used to have like, stuffed animals at the registers, That's what it is.
They have they have Funko Pops that you can buy near them.
Dude, gas stations sell Funko Pops now. Those things are everywhere. You can't run away from those
This
things
is
now,
great.
man.
I'm totally
Sean's gonna take a trip
shit.
tonight.
I'm shopping. You guys can do whatever you want. Like, I'm good.
Sean's like, show's over. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm buying
Yeah,
a new
whatever you want to
PC.
do.
There you go. Yeah, I'm happy I introduced you to a store.
CanadaComputers.com. Not a sponsor. Yet.
Not a sponsor yet.
Yep. Send them the video. Just make sure you send them this podcast right now, but just cut out the first part where there was legal representation. Make sure you
Sounds
send
good.
them all the positive stuff.
Yeah, threat of litigation.
Yeah.
Me popping off about people in gaming.
Yeah,
Can we just remove that?
Make sure you start right here.
Todd Howard's watching the show. Like, what did I do?
Yeah.
How did I come up?
Once again, great people.
What you don't know is Todd Howard is one of the chairmen at Canada Computers, and we're like, we just ruined that sponsor now after Fee just said that. Jeez.
I said they were great people.
We talked highly about Mountain Dew and Doritos, so there's still a chance there. I'm just saying. None of us said a negative thing about that stuff whatsoever, right?
Nope.
We're good. We got nothing to worry about.
Nothing.
Maybe we can get sponsored by a bakery. They'll give us birthday cakes when it's not our birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like it. We love
very
to
good.
see it.
Tomorrow. I'm getting one tomorrow.
You really talked me into it. If I leave the house, I might come home with a cake.
I want to see it. Yes. And everybody listening to this, just go buy yourself a cake. Just go treat yourself.
I'm going to be going out tomorrow, and I'm going to make sure that we go somewhere, and I'm going to be like, I have to buy a cake. I have to go buy a birthday cake, and they'll be like, excuse me, whose birthday is it? And I'm like, who cares?
Someone's.
It's someone somewhere. I'll just write their name. You know what? It's Sally's birthday today. I'm just going to get them to write Sally's birthday. Shout out to Sally. I'm going to get Sally's birthday on there because usually when you go to a grocery store, you can ask them to sign it and put happy birthday, Sally for free.
With
and
3
I'm going to get it done with 3 L's because you know what? They felt a little, they wanted her to be unique. Sally had to be a little bit more unique because obviously it's a competitive market for really interesting names in preschools now, apparently, from what I've heard.
That's what
so
I'm
just
saying.
get that third L in there.
I'm just laughing so hard. Imagine the lady with the pipe bag and you go, Sally with 3 L's, and they just stop and they go,
Keep going.
3 L's.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
put
the
S,
one with
okay.
3 L's.
Her name is SALL and then apostrophe and then LEE.
Stop.
Sally.
Yes.
Jeez. Don't tempt me to go get an Xbox Drive cake tomorrow. Just go get one. Celebrate.
it!
Celebrate
you
episode
won't.
2 of us.
I bet you won't.
I bet you won't. What
I'm gonna get
we love to say.
Xbox isn't dead on mine.
Yeah. I'm like, can you
Long
print a
live.
picture? And you know what I'm gonna do? Don't tempt me. Okay, now you done goofed. You done goofed. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the ones where you can get a picture printed, and I'm gonna get the picture
Do it.
of all of us, just like from.
I
last
bet you
episode.
won't. I bet you won't.
I bet you won't.
Okay. I gotta make the call. Don't worry about it.
He has to.
Is it? Hold on. We might want to end the show soon, though. I gotta get a hold of the store. It's okay. You guys are already closed.
Well,
it's
then
okay.
then I
yeah,
won't be
my
able
son-
to. I won't be able to talk about how much I think Lethal Company might be overrated. But maybe we'll leave that for next week.
Woo! That's the next screenshot. Hold on, all of us.
Cliffhanger.
Oh, is that? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys all loved it. Okay. Yeah.
No, I mean,
me too.
okay. I've only played it for the amount of time that we played it. Okay, I've seen other people play
Sorry,
it and
Pete.
have lots of fun.
It's okay.
However, I can't say a fair assessment of it. We played it for what, an hour? That was
Okay.
it.
Also,
And
I
Sean
treated it as
died.
if I was teaching you guys. Next time, I should have done what I've done with everyone else, which is like, have a good time, and I hop off the ship, and then I leave you, and then see what you do. Just go for it. Just you want to go and grab that random thing that's in the wall, and it's glowing, and now all the lights are out. Do it. You want to go pet a spider? Do it. You want to go like just randomly hug the little girl in the corner who's staring at you with her arms open? Go for it. Why not? Just do it up. You want to take
the
a
thing.
shovel out in the middle of a thunder and lightning storm? You do it. You do what you want to do, and you see what happens when you decide to do something like that.
You
Because
live
you know
your
what?
life.
You live your life. You know what? I just enjoy it because of the pure chaos. Do I enjoy randomly finding like airsoft grenades inside of the factory and randomly going up to my friend and saying, "Hey, Frank," and he's like, "What?" And then we just pull it and then just let it explode so we both go completely blind for 5 seconds? Absolutely. It's a rocking good time. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm sorry.
I don't think
I'm
you're
glad you like
convincing
it.
Sean to play it with us. That's a problem right now. Right now,
I hope
that
you guys
last
do
part.
play. That would actually make me very happy. That would make me the most happy.
Being
make
outside
three-
watching
no,
a
out of the
stream.
four of
Can't
us.
wait. Yeah.
The 3 out of the 4 of us get on and play Lethal Company. That
I-
sounds amazing.
Yeah. It could be fun.
I just don't
again, we
get
played
it.
but we played it for like an hour though, right? Again, hold on. Let's put this perspective, right? You didn't get Alan Wake until you played it a little longer, and then it got
Oh, you got called out, Sean. You got
That's
called
true.
out.
That's true.
some games are like that. Some games have that growing pain of like, ugh, and then you get past it and you're like, okay, I see you. I see what you're
I
doing
just don't
here.
know. Like it isn't what was the other Among Us? It's not Among Us, but it gives me the same kind of like Among Us kind of vibe, I guess. And like I don't know. It's the you start with like nothing kind of thing. Like you've played this forever, and like you start with 0, and it's like, well
Correct.
then, okay. Like I don't know if I get it. Like so.
I understand that though. There are
Why?
games I don't get. Like for example, Lego Fortnite. I get those types of survival games are out there, but I
was
mean,
just coming after you.
no, it's fine. So here's the thing. Lego, I'm not saying it's a bad game. What I'm saying is like I like games to have some sort of like end goal, right?
Yeah, like
Get
some
me from-
progression.
some progression,
Apex.
something. Exactly, where I play over and over and all that stuff. Exactly. Correct. But
That
with
is
like
funny. They are similar. Like it's just this endless loop. of
endless
playing it
loop and all that.
forever.
But I think the thing for me though is also like a competitive side. Like if Lego Fortnite had PvE, like PvP, I would probably be way more into it. I would probably be like, oh man, I have to build up my base because somebody can show up and try to take my stuff. That would make me way more interested in the game. But like those types of survival games where you like kind of just gather stuff and build it. And I'm like, cool. So what do we do next? We do this over and over. We just keep building and building and building. There's no like threat. There's no story. Whereas Minecraft has like some, like a story and like progression and like harder things to face. But like Lethal Company, Among Us doesn't have that, right? Among Us is only good if you have friends that you're playing with. I can't imagine solo dolo turning on Among Us and going, I can't wait to have a good time. I only played Among Us with my buddies, and it was hysterical because I was playing with my buddies. I feel like Lethal Company is the game that, like, if you have a core group of people playing and we're all kind of just like F it, have a fun time, then it would be a much more fun experience. I get it though, when you're first playing the game, you're just like, what the hell am I doing? Where am I going? What is happening? But if you get past that stage, and again, you're playing with your friends, it could be a lot of fun. Because most streams that I've seen where people are playing with friends, they're just laughing hysterically at something that ridiculous that just happened. It's not as fun when you're first learning and you're like, cool, I just screwed up. Great. Not fun. But when we get past that stage, maybe it will be fun.
I did exactly what I meant to do.
He thought about it. He looked down. He's like, I'll survive.
Yeah, I didn't know there was that much fall damage.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's the type of game that I feel like multiple players playing it, getting past that initial like learning stage, it will be a whole lot more fun. So,
yeah,
I agree.
It is.
But Alan Wake,
someday.
Tomb Raider instead.
Someday.
Tomb Raiders to beat.
I still like when I see all the videos of Tomb Raider and I'm like, yeah, I played that game. And I think Tomb Raider is awesome. When she jumps over a ledge that's taller than her and her arms are still like this,
oh, dude,
and
the grab animation
down.
is the best. It's like a YOLO jump. Like whether she makes it or not, she's like, she's reaching for it. She's going for it, man. And like so you think about like the gruesome death animations in the new Tomb Raider games, like they have origins in the original games, man. Like she just like just collapses, like her bones turn to dust, and her just like body just like falls to the ground. It's awful.
Those new Tomb Raider games, by the way, they're phenomenal. Everybody should play them.
So good.
They're so good. But like, yeah, there's deaths in those. It's just like Mortal Kombat, right? There was terrible things that were happening on the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat, but graphically, we kind of had to use our imaginations a little bit. These new consoles, you don't. And you see some terrible shit happen to these people. And you're like, oh my God, like, why did Lara Croft have to die that way in that river? That's terrible. So yeah, that's something that I appreciate. Those new Tomb Raiders, I still Shadow of the Tomb Raider, or no, Shadow of the last one.
Yes.
When she came out of the water.
Oh, like, the blood.
Dude, that scene, I was like, yes, let's go. That scene is great. That's one of those, it's weird. Like, I love games that have those scenes in them that you don't remember the rest of the game. Do I remember the story of Shadow? No.
I really don't. I didn't like that one that much.
But like certain scenes, that's one of those scenes that when that happened in that game, I was like, yeah, buddy, that's awesome. That's a really good scene.
Nice.
What else is anybody else playing? Yeah. What else we got? Sean, on this list, you have Lethal Company, but you just talked about how you don't like it.
It's just what I played. You know, I just thought I would shout out that we played last week after the show. Played over on twitch.tv/carpoolgaming.live. And yeah, I'm glad you guys liked it. Look, I don't want to be a bummer. Like, I'm glad you all seem to have a good time. But
we definitely need to make it like a thing to play a 4-player game. Like, I would enjoy that. You know, we could also do some other stuff like Fall Guys.
Fall Guys is fun. Yeah,
Fall Guys is real fun.
Vampire Survivor.
We could also, me and Bowsah could Fortnite it up and have you guys come with us. You know, we could all have some fun. But Fee just looked over like, oh,
I know.
See, Fall Guys is my like Sean equivalent to like Lethal Company. You know what I mean?
No shots.
That's funny.
It's here's the thing. I'm just really bad at it, and as a competitive person, I don't like to be. I just want to preface, I don't like being a competitive person, but I am a competitive person, and so when I'm constantly losing, and I've never gotten first place. I've been in teams with my partner who is consistently like number one, and he's just like, oh wow, I got the star, and I'm just like, teamwork, yay, I'm so happy I've been out of the game since round 1, yay, woo.
I was gonna say we could bring you a victory if you want a victory, but after the way you just described that, she's like, I want to be the one with the star.
Correct. Here's the thing. I will play it with people if they want to play it. It's the same thing with Fall. Like when it comes to Fortnite, you just need to be fully prepared that I'm not good at the game and I will not take it seriously. As long as you know this, we're good to go. But yeah, I know.
deal with teammates all the time. You know, my buddy Buzz, he's not serious at all. I'm just kidding, Buzz. If you're watching this, you're very serious. I'm just messing.
But no, I appreciate that Sean played it with us last week, and when he does inevitably play it with us again, which will happen, it'll be fun.
I might have been just tired. Maybe it was just end of a long.
Bro, you were so tired.
That was dumb.
You were so tired.
We were honestly, I was too though. We were all kind of like, We just talked for 2 hours.
It was late.
Yeah.
It's midnight for you guys, 10 o'clock. We were real tired, but you know, maybe one of these episodes won't
It's
go
possible.
2 hours one day, and we'll be able to play more games. And you know, we're also just old and tired people. You know what I
I'll
mean?
keep an open mind.
What are you talking about?
Me and Sean. I'm looking at me and Sean, the dads with baseball hats and glasses who are just like,
Oh yeah, look at us.
Yeah, look
That's
at us.
valid. Yeah.
I won't tell you guys about how I found my lens last week. I'll tell you guys.
I was gonna say, tell us next week. I would love to know about your glasses.
It's real embarrassing. It actually is real embarrassing.
I love
I'll
it.
tell you guys
We
next
love
week.
embarrassing
That's a tease.
stories.
That's what we're bringing you guys next week. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button on YouTube and on your podcast service of choice
Mm-hmm.
to see how dumb I am. That's what you can do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call you dumb.
I would. It's okay. Sean, you okay over there?
Anyways, is that the
Nice.
end?
Yeah, that's the end. I think so. I think we're all
That is
chalked out.
the end.
That is the end of the show. And as we close out this week, before we go around the horn and find out where everybody can find each other on the internet, I want to give a very special thanks to everybody who supports us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Damn near 100 of y'all over there enjoying a bunch of exclusive content and ad-free feeds and all the entire Carpool Gaming cinematic universe, audio universe, all in one place. And I want to say a special thank you to our ultimate producers like Tony Baker. You can find a Quest for Pixels at youtube.com/quest4pixels. Jonathan Brown, the man behind the music of this show, the PlayStation Drive, and just incredible work like Video Game Boy. You can find his stuff at link.tree/pme.jib. Lee Navarro, the fearless leader of the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life team. Come join Extra Life. Join us in Rome, New York. Phoenix Overdrive is the team. Join us there at phoenixoverdrive.com. And of course, Cwagmire, who reminds you that the best babes are Xenobabes. I want to thank our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave, 1337, BobLoblaw, Bowsah, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, CrocoKyle, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, Jan32, Marcus O'Neill, Peje EP, and Tim Aulph. Thank you everybody for supporting us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. You can go to patreon.com/carpoolgaming and choose the tier that is right for you, Fiona McKinnon.
Absolutely.
Not you, like you're a host. You don't have to do that, but I was just tossing it to you.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent. Passing it to me. Hi.
Where can they find you, Fee?
Yes.
Sorry, Mitch, throwing it to you, dude.
Hi.
No. Okay.
Go ahead, Fee. No. We'll learn from Fee. Go ahead.
I figured this out. I figured this out, everybody. Hi, once again. You can find me not only here, you can also check out the podcast that Bowsah and I were on this week, where we did the girls' room.
Yes.
Where we talked about our like little romance, like who we would think would be really good in romances across Nintendo on the Nintendo Drive. It's already available, so go check that out. And it was so much fun, an absolute blast. And you can also find me on Wednesdays over at Point in Progress. Same for Twitch as well as YouTube. We did a very interesting, we also did kind of the same thing, but it was a lot more chaotic and a lot more yelling. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. And yeah, that's where you can find me. And at some point I will come back to streaming because this week has been crazy. And for that reason, I'm taking this weekend off to play Helldivers 2 offline. Yeah. Self-care, just killing a bunch of aliens. 10 out of 10. Mitch, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me basically everywhere, every social media platform. Mitch Power 1116. I'll be streaming all weekend the newest season of Apex. I'll be doing ranked Apex. Also, I edited all week. I just been editing social media posts, so you'll be seeing a lot of TikToks, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, all those things on everything Mitch Power 1116. Yeah, all those things. That's pretty much it. Bowsah, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me on the social medias at Bowsah13. You can find me in the Discord. And you still have about a week left to play Superliminal and join the Backtrackers on the 24th to talk about it. Sean, what about you?
I love it. As for me, you can find me on Twitter and all the things at Sean Capri. It's my gamer tag as well, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. Join me in the Discord as well. The Discord is bonkers right now, you guys. It is so much fun. Come on in if you haven't joined already. And I think that's it. Maybe next week the entire Xbox community won't be on fire and everything's going to be great. Everything's going to be amazing. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Xbox Drive. We'll be back next week, same time, Friday nights, live at youtube.com/carpoolgaming. Follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live. And I think that's the end. We'll see everybody next week. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Xbox Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget that we've got some awesome Xbox Drive merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming for exclusive content. Links to everything are in the description. We'll see you next week.